harness resilience through the pain. I'm a warrior. Bio, sleep on checkmate. Are you kidding? Margaret to the rescue. The blade comes out and he shuts it all down in one fell swoop. Absolutely stomping. Oh, what is that? I haven't even got to the bridge. Backbone.
Warrior, I'm a hurricane like Gloria. I won't fail my times now. Rise of glory won't back down. I take the pain and I let it out. On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate. Oh,
Rampage through the side room. Everybody, massive for Bernard. Catches everybody else.
I'm a warrior.
Gonna look to make it happen, and there it is. Proper. Cannot be stopped.
On the mountaintop, shout it out. Break away, let me demonstrate my mentality. Activate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another day of the Overwatch League. I am Achilleos, once more joined by Trin. We'll be guiding you through what is likely to be a very long evening of matches. We've got threes series for you today. We've been having a hell of a lot of 5-mappers. Didn't quite get to 10 yesterday, but maybe we can have that 15 dream alive once more today as we kick things off with the showdown. It's going to be Hangzhou up against Guangzhou.
Yeah, and yesterday wasn't the type of day we expected to go to those sorts of lengths, Seth. Whereas today, I feel like the teams are a little bit more competitive, and they're definitely going to be ones that go the distance, potentially, like you said, to that 15-map dream. However, this is APAC after all, so chances are the script gets thrown out the window and we see some 3-0 blowouts today. Honestly, would not surprise me at this point.
I mean, at this point, there's so much wacky wildness that goes on, so nothing really is going to shock me, but it seems like 3-0s in this meta, it's basically impossible. The Dynasty was like the one team who's really able to achieve that, and then that script got flipped on its, up on its head. Just yesterday, we saw them lose for the very first time in the Countdown Cup qualifier, so who the hell knows what is actually going to happen.
To the Spark of all people! The people who can't finish a series finally actually closed one out against the Seoul Dynasty and were able to go away with the win. That puts them quite nicely and keeps them 1 point behind the Philadelphia Fusion in that race to secure a playoff spot. Really important win for them yesterday. And as you can see, the rest of the table still scrapping to make sure they don't fall into that eliminated range. I think it's really hard to fall into a territory where they are going to be out of playoffs contention altogether. For now, it's all about who's making it to the play-ins and who's getting that direct qualification.
Yeah, and it's pretty much just between the Hangzhou Spark and the Philly Fusion, if my math is correct. Chengdu Hunters cannot catch up. They cannot get themselves into that third place spot any longer, but they are firmly going to be locked into the play-ins alongside the Guangzhou Charge, who in their own right now are basically playing to, both upset the Hangzhou Spark as well as get a couple more wins under their belt before they do have to compete in those play-ins to try to get into the playoffs. So pressure still mounting both series here today with Hangzhou and the Fusion playing. Incredibly important for those two squads who are looking to take that third slot. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But for now, as mentioned, it is going to be Guangzhou going up against Hangzhou. So Guangzhou Charge, they could play spoiler. They've already spoiled the Valiant season just yesterday. Maybe they can do it a little bit more, a little bit less damage rather, to the big squad there in the Hangzhou Sparks. If we can best them here and Fusion can pick up their series win later on tonight, then they're going to be pretty well set to go ahead and be locked into that third place spot. But here's our starting 5 for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Nothing too concerning, nothing too shocking, as we still have Piggy starting things off here in that tank role.
Yeah, big day for Piggy, going up against Bernard in that tank lineup, I imagine. A lot of Zarya being played in the current meta. That's where Piggy's found the most success, along with the Charge. We have seen an odd flex over to the Diva at times for both of these tanks in this matchup. But I have a feeling that Zarya is going to be the mainstay here. Choice A1's been having fun on Genji whenever they got a chance to play it, but for the most part, they've been kind of flexing away from that one. Yeah, Charge, fantastic performance, 3-1 yesterday against the Valiant. Looked a little bit dicey at times, but still able to close it out in a 4-map series. So running on some good momentum off the back of a win. Day 2 coming up is going to be fantastic for them. Taking a look at their opponents for today, the Spark, as you already mentioned, Seth, huge result for them yesterday, taking down the Seoul Dynasty, and I want to put a lot of the success on the player of the match from yesterday, Pineapple, coming into the roster. Out of nowhere, clearly getting the reps in the practice chamber and having a fantastic performance on the Tracer. And, we joked about it yesterday. It was a coin toss between whether it should have been Pineapple or Teru getting player of the match, because Teru was on another level as well.
Yeah, the silent, just backline there, and Taru just ripping heads off yesterday. Don't have him on cam. Could only imagine that he had some psychotic grin on his face as he just tore the enemy team asunder, just over and over again, wreaking havoc against the Seoul Dynasty. But it was just impeccable performances from both he and Pineapple. Of course, everybody on the side of the Hangzhou Spark played incredibly well. You would have to in order to be able to take down the Dynasty. But those two were definitely the two brightest stars in the sky at the end of that series. So I'm expecting more great things from Pineapple coming into this next one. Just like yesterday, he's going to have his work cut out for him. We've seen some incredible performances from Choi Se-won this season, even just yesterday where they were able to take down the Valiant in that 3-1 victory. So it's not going to be really any easy series, I guess. You got what would have been the easiest series out of the way in the Valiant, who are now locked in that bottom spot. So everything else from here on out is just going to be a constant uphill battle. Here's our map set, though. We'll be kicking things off on Busan, then heading to Eichenwald and Junkertown. If we get the 3-0s that you maybe are alluding to or expecting, Trid, that'll be it. Otherwise, we'll carry on our merry way and get to New Queen Street and then Lijiang Tower if it goes the full 5.
Look, I think Xerneas and Faraway are going to have their work cut out for them this game. One of the strongest points of the Spark yesterday, Seth, was the coordination between Shy, Pineapple, and occasionally Teru getting into the mix as well. The combination of their Sombra Tracer dive was absolutely amazing, and it's something that is incredibly lethal. If Xerneas and Faraway get caught off guard by that, this series can be over very quickly. Remember, Spark were able to deal with our most dominant team in Dynasty, dominant team in the region in the form of the Seoul Dynasty. Charge, sitting a little bit lower down on the table, but are on a bit of an upswing. If they Spark bring a performance they brought yesterday, I have a feeling the 3-0 may manifest for this series. I want to see what Charge can do to deflect that dive that, by all accounts, should be the main staple of attack for the Spark today.
You see right there on the bottom of your screen, last time they did square off, it was the Guangzhou Charge able to walk away with a win. There was several weeks ago in a different meta where the Guangzhou Charge were still struggling, so we'll have to see if they can do it once more in this meta where they have looked, pretty much at the top of their game so far the whole year, 2022. Things have opened up though, and well, we thought maybe it's going to be the Zarya, maybe for a future round on Busan, but for now it will be that Diva v Diva. As everybody on the side of the Guangzhou Charge very much clustered over towards the walkway right now. Huge amounts of damage going through. Picking going to get chunked down to about half, but Shy forced to translocate out. Just back, plays it safe. Keeps himself alive in the mix of things.
Yeah, and in that first little engagement, Pineapple nearly found Faraway just naturally without a Sombra hack, so that's something to keep an eye on. First point going over to the Charge. Choi Se-won very much playing with the pack. Jimmy's isolated, of course, translocate away, and Faraway gets on the board with a frag on Pineapple.
Yeah, and that is going to be a prime target to be able to find for that opening kill. Pineapple take it down, so much pressure alleviated. The point's already been locked in for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, so that's picking up at 15%. They pursue forward, they look for a little bit of extra kills here, and despite the stick not coming through, Irony still dives in on top of that pulse bomb, ends up going down. So good, fast build time there from Choi Se-won. Now is already a third of the way to the next. Pineapple just now getting his own pulse bomb ready to go. See if he's going to be able to find a prime target as well. But Guangzhou Charge, I mean, they've occupied so much time. They got that initial point lockdown. They're already now at 35%.
One of the problems they're going to suffer here, though, Steph, is that Pulse Bomb may be online, but Faraway has the Nano Boost. You can just chuck that on Xerneas if he gets stuck. Probably going to be a target for them, so needs to be mindful of that. They can probably weather the storm of this one. Burner's hacked up. Nano Boost given over to Piggy. They're going to use it proactively instead.
Okay, Piggy going to be taking a nap. Leave him on the ground, but can they get any sort of punish here? The Pulse Bomb Pineapple already used. Didn't find any value really from that. Follow-up hack onto Piggy, but we'll be able to go ahead and jets over to the side, keep Xerneas safe with that D-Matrix. Continues to take a bit of damage. There's going to be Transcendence now forced out. Teru going to be matching on the opposite side. Irony sent out that Nano Boost. No kills to be found so far in the extended skirmish. Far away,
Jimmy used that.
Striking just by Pineapple. Now Teru going to be taking down the two stars. Have been snuffed out of the night sky. Now Irony falling means that it's just Bernard and Shy. And yep, not worth sending that self-destruct out. Just goes ahead and goes for the reset. There was a flip in the middle of the battle. 9% accrued for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but the Charge are right back in control. They're moving up, and it's an extended kill here. A huge dagger now onto Shy.
Yeah, that 9% isn't what's valuable. The fact that they delayed them getting into that final fight, potentially 99% territory, that's the real power of getting the flip in that fight, Seth.
How has he not been spotted?
Couple of ultimates on the board. Oh, they're going in.
Okay, D-Matrix is there trying to keep protected. EMP comes out from Shy. Piggy sends out the self-destruct, not going to be able to find too much. Bernard, on the opposite side, sending out the bomb. The OT does get forced. Walls come up, they chase in. They're looking to try to get rid of this baby diva, but they actually cannot make it happen. Choice wants to come down to a sliver. And Irony was able to save it. Finds a follow-up shot on Xerneas as well. Hangzhou Spark finally finding a bit of ground to stand on here. As you can see, Bernard just moving forward, keeping Pineapple safe while he gets his little beauty sleep in.
Yeah, long climb back up, good cover coming in from Bernard to make sure that Pineapple wasn't going to be found back in the spawn room off the back of the sleep. A couple of options available for the charge now. The D-Mech coming in. Thankfully, Bernard had the self-destruct to be able to remake quickly and keep the contest alive. Great use of the terrain to dodge out all the harassment from Choi. Now they've got a long climb back up to try and surpass 99%. It's already been accrued by the charge.
Jimmy, though, this EMP about to be online could be the turning point for the charge to be able to retake this round. Otherwise, Hangzhou Spark, if they can pilot around the EMP, deny the charge from finding value, they certainly would be in a position to try to steal this round away. Jimmy, however, before even using the EMP, catches Pineapple. Piggy will lose out of the mech, but now the flip is there, and the Hangzhou Spark have to get themselves over to the point. They don't have the Tracer for the extension, so Taro going to use that Transcendence, but Irony, he was antied out and isolated. Jimmy is able to find the kill. Taro now needs to go absolutely nuclear, but the EMP cuts across. They find the break onto Bernard's mech. They take him down. It's kill after kill coming through as Pineapple tries to extend this for a little bit longer, but eventually will succumb to just all 5 members of the Guangzhou Charge applying pressure. There's the closeout, 156%. Mecha base is theirs.
And right at the end there, you saw how difficult it was going to be for any kind of recontest. Not only were you down on numbers, you got a Transcendence and a couple of bodies of charge blocking the direct route back to the point for you to be able to even keep that alive. It just left Pineapple on the point as the lone survivor after just being over-oppressed from heals, because, to be honest, the Zenyatta pocket can do a little bit for healing, but not overly lots. So once Bernard had lost most of their HP, the chance of getting that back whilst also dealing with an active engagement and fighting against the Transcendence, just overwhelming healing pressure, and it locks them out of the fight, keeps them gone. The pick-up onto Irony early on into that fight definitely was the last nail in the coffin, if you would do with the fight, unless someone went huge and had a pop-off moment. Piggy's fought out already.
Yeah. It's going to be hacked. Xerneas takes a nasty hit. Quickly gets topped back up by Far Away, who's, I'm sure, more than happy to just go ahead and build up towards that nano boost as rapidly as he can. Piggy under fire, Discord Orbs go forward. They're trying to get the break, and they finally will be able to take him out of that mech in the end. Shy able to get it, but he gives his life for it. So now you trade out the Sombras. It's going to be a decent window for Jimmy. Was a little bit further behind to try to build up match and take the lead towards the EMPs. Terror just fishing for now, spamming out these right-click charge-ups, trying to see if he can get a straight connection, but it's going to be Xerneas who manages to strike first, finds Irony. Terror quickly finds some revenge here for his cohort in the support, and, well, Bernard going to be melted out of the mech, but I don't think it's going to be too concerning, given that Shy and Pineapple come up with a kill apiece. So the cleanup is there. Bernard goes off the side of the map for a quick little reset, and Spark have got control and 20% to boot.
Yeah, you go for the reset there all the time. There's no risk of a flip coming in. By the time you get remexed, you can fly back with your boosters. It's the right decision for Bernard rather than trying to risk building up the ult charge back. You see Shy's got the good read on the path of ingress for the charge, knows where they're coming from, gets hacked, guys, go for the kill, and Piggy turns it around. Oh,
just
dear,
completely barrels him over there. Just charging forward, they get the elimination. Another huge pickup, and I mean, Jimmy, he's already got that EMP. If he decides to use it now, he can start lapping him. Good eat there from Piggy as well. Going to go ahead and absorb the pulse bomb out. Jump up over the top. EMP going to be used. Finds Thray. Taro instantly disappears. Bernard jetting away, just trying to keep his mech intact. And Piggy is still pursuing forward. He's got the corner there onto Irony. Finishes him off. Bernard as well. Going to be desuited. Piggy can just go ahead and jet back. Funnel some healing over to his teammates. And there you go. The flip is in. Guangzhou Charge taking control. 59% established for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, so not too far, you know, back right now. They still have a decent lead to work with if they can get a quick retake.
And just a reminder there of how annoying the Sombra could be. I'm fairly certain Irony lives if he had access to the mini around that corner, but it's hacked away by Jimmy. I mean, there's no chance of getting that additional healing and staying alive in the fight. Shy's hacked up. Gonna be found again. Needs to stop dying early in these fights.
I mean, we've seen this time and time again. Last meta, this meta. If Shy goes down first, it's oftentimes a really bad omen for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Transcendence popped here by Xerneas. Keeps everybody topped up, and Choi Se-Wan, meanwhile, off screen, gets around the back, finds Pineapple, strikes him down. Guangzhou Charge He's buying more and more time for themselves. Shy again out into the open. This time does have the translocator available. Jumps away, but Choice A1 quick to go for the push, but knows that he will get surrounded here very shortly if he overstays. So we'll join back in with Piggy for a brief little moment. Says, you know what? I want to try to take down that Sombra, but we see Shy. He's already playing up, getting ready to get on top of the supports. Piggy going to be broken out of the mech. The self-destruct going to be used just to get himself back in. Everybody cuts around the corner to keep themselves safe for now.
Very stagnated for the time being. While this has been going on, Charge have overtaken on map percentage. They now have the lead. Teru finds Faraway. That's a great opening for the Spark. Just need to convert it to a few more as they move round to the point. Piggy seems to be the target of focus right now. A lot of attention being given over to him. Teru dealing hands, and he beats Jimmy in the 1v1.
It catches him with a straight headshot. Finally just lines it up. He's playing elusively for a damn
Oh!
long while, but oh my god! What a play from Teru.
He broke his
Absolutely
ankles, his head,
incredible.
shoulders, knees, and toes, Seth. There was nothing he can do about that. Choi just bodied, and a nice flip coming in from the Spark.
Oh man. Every bone broken. One fell swoop. The teeth split and chipped as well. Unreal. Okay, well, the jump forward from Choice A1 with the pulse in hand is enough to force this Transcendence, so that's a big tool out of the way now. EMP could find that much more value for Jimmy. Lead taken for the Hangzhou Spark. Now 90% locked in. We're in final fight territory for both squads. Whoever wins this one is likely taking the round. And if it's going to be the Guangzhou Charge, he'll be taking the map. Counter EMP comes out. Choice A1 going to be the target. Pineapple gets on top of him, finds the kill. Jump away from Shy, stays safe, makes his way up onto the high ground. Overtime now forced out. Pulse bomb, self-destruct at the ready for the side of the Spark. Choice A1 getting ready to come back in with a pulse of his own. Piggy, however, going to be demeched. Self-destruct to try to clear out the point from Bernard. Makes his way back in. No, somehow hasn't pulled the trigger yet to go for the remech now. Does go for it. Piggy going to be taken down, but Teru does get lost at the same time. Guangzhou Charge, pulse bomb in. Bernard not going to be too nonplussed about that one. Kind of shrugs off the explosive damage. Gets hopped back up by Irony. Still is very much in the fight here. Occupying the point, keeping things contested for the Hangzhou Spark, but health bars are starting to go down. Pineapple himself hovering around half HP, but still manages to find the pickup on Desernius. Now Jimmy going to be taking that as well. Choice A1, all the weight being put on his shoulders. Pops the recall, doesn't go back up to full HP. Piggy rejoins, but his focus fired, pushed off the point, and the OT plummets down. Another fairly close round, 187%, but we're not done yet. Sanctuary is going to decide who wins the first map.
And one of the first plays we saw in this map, Seth, was also repeated by the Spark, should we say, right at the end there. Actually calling back Bernard and Piggy. The Divas playing defensively to protect against these Sombra dives has been fantastic in this map so far. Right at the end, Jimmy set up for the EMP. Irony, Teru, perfectly in the range, ready to take him down. Probably got away with at least one kill before translocating out, but Bernard comes flying back with the DM, soaks up a ton of damage, and at that point, your biggest initiation tool has just been mitigated entirely. Spark are then able to use that as a platform to build back, hold on to the point they already got, and deal with the charge as they keep flying in. Despite having fast remix from the self-destruct, Bernard even getting pulse bombed and able to sustain throughout it, Spark just refused to go down and drop bodies in that final fight, and they come up with the map win, and so they move on to the final round.
All right. Sanctuary to decide it all. See who starts off with a win. Just gotta love the back and forth play that we've seen from these teams. There's gonna be the manual break on the translocator, so Shy's position not necessarily revealed, but Choice A1, let's get on top of Pineapple. Looks like the help of a hack was there from Jimmy, so while Shy was occupied, getting ready to try to backstab, he ends up losing his cohort of the damage roll. Hack now out onto Bernard, and his health bar just absolutely gets evaporated. They don't manage to finish off the pilot quite just yet, so he still is running around pistoling, trying to get himself back into that mech as quickly as he possibly can. 75, 80% now building up, and he should be able to do it safely. Guangzhou Charge, however, have managed to take advantage of this. They grab the point first and foremost, but for how long they're going to be in control, we'll have to just wait and see.
They hacked up Faraway, but actually put the damage onto Xerneas instead, seeing they could get a quick kill onto the robot with just the machine pistol. Xerneas healing over. Oh, there's an Ana boost given over. Piggy, he's accelerating, he's going for the back line.
He's trying to get in there. You can see Bernard trying to go for the covering fire, but not going to work out. They end up taking him down. Pineapple now as well. Going to be felled. Faraway finds that kill. Nice little plays off the back of just an ad out. Now Jimmy finds Teru in the follow-up neutral fight. The ults Getting very much racked up here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Hangzhou Spark not that far behind. They're about to have 5 of their own, but the tempo is being set by the Guangzhou Charge. Hangzhou, they need to offset them.
Just about to hit the 50% mark as well, so halfway for the map claimed already for Charge. So even look for the rotation now. Shy's got the EMP, might not even need to use this one. A pick onto Jimmy might be enough to get a flip without burning any ultimates. This could be really lean for the Spark.
Yep, that's the kind of tempo shift that I was talking about. They find that pick, they still need to translate it into a little bit more. Now Cernius does have that Transcendence online. So if he wants to use it here to try to bail out Piggy, who has been taken quite low. He goes up into the sky, has the D-Matrix up to block a lot of that incoming damage, but will get broken out. Has the self-destruct to rely on. And it looks like he has gotten cleared, makes his way back into the mech. Gets the kill on the Pineapple as well, squashes him with the mech. It's been a damn long while since we've seen one of those happen, at least here in the APAC region, but there you have it. Nice little kills. Tracy Watt gonna just knock his head on the windowsill. Can't quite make it in. Tries to go for the pulse bomb play. Instead, now has the pulse bomb for the follow-up as the Transcendence has now expired. Wraps around the back. Bernard continuously getting bullied from all angles, and no one gets the touch. They are just completely shifted on, or funneled in on, just pulling back, retreating, trying to keep this back line alive. And because of that, they're not paying attention to the percentage, so the Guangzhou Charge kind of just steal this one away. First map is theirs. 1-0 start.
Right at the end there, you know, it's very unfortunate you saw Pineapple going down to the redeploy of the mech. So close to taking Piggy down. I think we're talking, you know, sub 20 HP there. Few more sprays of the pistols might have got the kill, and that's why Pineapple was so willing to commit to that fight, get real close on top of real close on top of Piggy, just to try and find that kill, even throwing the pulse bomb out in the end, but the remech animation comes in time. At that point, the damage transfers over to the mech rather than the pilot, and what you end up with is a squished Pineapple, and Piggy just gets to roam free on the Diva. 4v5 against the Spark. It just goes wrong for them, and Charge roll out with the first map of the series.
Well, there is our first map of Control done and dusted. Obviously, can still very much have a second map of it if we can go all the way to the very end and get a Game 5. But for now, it is the Guangzhou Charge who start up 1-0. Eichenwald is going to be coming up next. We'll see whether or not it's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Charge or if the Hangzhou Spark will be able to equalize. We'll see that when we come back from the break, so don't go anywhere. good evening. Welcome back. We are just one map into our first series of the day, and it's going to be a long one because we've got 3 series for you here. But it is the battle of the Zhous, the showdown, whatever you want to call it. And Guangzhou Charge have drawn first blood. Busan goes their way. Now we go over to Eichenwalde for our hybrid map to see if the Hangzhou Spark can tie things up.
Yeah, really solid backline defense there. Pineapple and Shy have been well and truly muted in what was quite an oppressive tool for the Sparks kit yesterday against the Dynasty. Is not proving as effective against the Charge. I think that's mainly down to how flexible and how mobile a D.Va can be to come back and DM. I wonder if that's the same story if either of these teams choose to divert their resources over to a Zarya instead. How reactive can the Zarya be in comparison to the D.Va? Does that open up a window of opportunity for the Spark to get in there? Because I feel like the D.Va presence with the DM has been the difference maker at shutting down a lot of these dives. That being said, all of it also comes to Shy getting picked off early before they can set up anything. So Shy can maybe work on a pathing, be a little bit sneakier, up the stealth skill if you will do. Could also prove some dividends for the Spark moving into the next map.
Yeah, spec a couple more points in, have some increased stealth rating so that you don't get spotted out as easily. We'll have to see if he's been able to do that. But yeah, jumping into Eichenwalde, we'll see if this can be the staging grounds here for the Hangzhou Spark to start coming back in. Because we've seen them struggle. That's for damn sure. They got the win yesterday. That was a decent look. They almost got reverse swept again, but they were able to avoid it against the top team in the region. And now, suffering a loss early, they're the ones who now need to fire back, try to get themselves into the driver's seat. There's no shot that we see the cattle come out. Bernard just messing around with us, gives a quick little speed boost with that rallying shout, commanding shout, I forget what it's called.
Shout.
It's all based on
Shout.
It's all based on like warrior abilities in World of Warcraft. They have so many shouts. I always mix them up. Also been playing so much World of Warcraft, so ability names are starting to blend together for me.
Are there any shouts that are damaging abilities? Can you like
Is
give
it Rallying
psychic
Cry?
damage or like mal?
Which
Rallying
one's-
Cry damages enemies?
No. But
I just like the idea of you shouting and someone taking damage, you know?
yeah, I mean you got Piercing Howl that slows down enemies.
Ooh, okay, that works.
Scares them enough to kind of stagger them, I suppose. All right, forward push there from Shy. Spraying away. No stealthy antics off the rip. Now can go ahead and he's got his initial bits of damage in. Can play a little bit more cloak and dagger from here on out.
Yeah, and, well,
Okay.
definitely the way they caught Choi. I imagine that's a hack and Bernard going through with the rocket boosters, I think, to
He
shut
was
down
deep.
Choi. Yeah, actually, what was Choi doing? Tero?
Hey, you see where Bernard was at, but okay, Taro just going to get sniped by Faraway. So, quick trade back kill coming in. D-Matrix up from Piggy, keeps Faraway protected for now. Sleep Dart not quite going to connect. Nice turn from Bernard, just deny that one away, but already the Guangzhou Charge are occupying the point. They gain a tick for free. This is already fairly catastrophic from the side of the Guangzhou Charge, even if they can get the retake going. They're giving up a hell of a lot of percentage. The second tick will be coming through. Yeah, it seems like
Bernard, get on point!
Okay, he's finally got a touchdown. He's got Pineapple there to back him up.
And he's gone again!
Emptied out. He pushes forward, gets the rockets through, does find the elimination. Now Faraway also going to be taken out, so no supports here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. So from here, Hangzhou should be able to win out the rest of the fight as Choi Se-Wan tries to exit, as does Piggy, but Mech likely to be lost, and there it is. Does lose it, so they will regain control, but they give up 88.5%. So Guangzhou Charge just going to go for a reset. Piggy's gone off the side of the map, and they're going to come back in and start from the second tick.
I'm not sure what's happening there with the Spark. They had bodies on point presence. It just needed someone to be able to expose themselves. I mean, Bernard was busy dealing with an oppressive Choi Se-Wan in the back. But could have taken that fight over to the point, perhaps, and maybe stalled out the second tick of progress. I'm not sthere how Teru also gets taken out by Faraway. It's not as if it's a quick snipe from a Widowmaker when the Ana burns you down. That's a dot over time, and it takes a couple of shots to do it. So, and there was no assist in there, so I don't know how Teru gets caught off guard by that one. Maybe just chancing to try and get the Daubs of Destruction in place and getting that extra damage to try and take Faraway out.
All right, well, there's the Pineapple that we know and love from yesterday. Get the pulse box, start things off, but follow-up is in Choi Se-Wan, finds Irony, and that's going to be the Nano Boost now out of the equation. Faraway about to have one of his own. Choi Se-Wan maybe overstepping a little bit more here. Has that blink come off cooldown just the right moment. EMP going to be pulled, Taro taken down. It's going to be a big split in the spawns of these supports now. Self-destruct going to be thrown out. Looks for a pick. Bernard not going to find anything. Goes for the remech. Will be able to make it happen, as does Piggy, playing here on the point. 99.1% now built up on the side of the Guangzhou charge. EMP used shy, instantly dealt with. Choice1 finds the kill. Irony rejoins, throws in the nano boost over to Bernard. Jason, they look for Piggy. They think him so damn low, but they're unable to find the kill. And here's something that we haven't seen in a very long time: is a nano boosted Sombra. Jimmy receives that for a little bit. Doesn't really lead to too much. Pulse bomb built up now from Pineapple, who's got the dueling Zenyatta's here on the point. Transcendence is rolling on either side. No one gonna get taken down in this action, but Pineapple gets dropped. Xerneas punishes him as he tries to go for the pulse stick. Gets the pickup kill. Choice1 right back into the action. Well protected through that sleep. The cleanup will come through. And yeah, Hangzhou Spark, despite the start, they do drain the clock down considerably. Now there's 3 minutes and 15 in the time bank for the Guangzhou charge as we go into the streets phase.
Yeah, you can't be losing those 1v1s, Seth. You can't be losing the Tracer versus Zenyatta duel like that. You need Pineapple to be able to take out Xerneas, not the other way around. The fact that it looked like a fairly independent and solo duel just makes it that much more drastic. That should have been Pineapple's kill to claim, and Xerneas off the field is going to remove that Orb of Discord, the healing element as well. It's a 5v4, and Spark were holding quite well until that moment, but I think they just got overrun by sheer numbers at the end there. Now they're moving on to point B. Lots of high ground to go, and Xerneas has just assassinated Teru.
Okay. Another great opening kill. Choice1 falling low, or Harmony goes out to him. Xerneas just keeping him in the fight. Bernard playing a bit further forward, does get hacked, takes a good chunk of damage, but will be safe for now. Heals coming across as Irony's just sat up on top of the ramparts, just pumping heals into him, trying to keep him sustained. But there's the pulse stick. Choice1 fights him. The Nano was using the dying breath to Bernard. Gonna be juiced up here, but Teru gets hacked. Jimmy finds that kill in the back line. That's the supports now taken away from the Hangzhou Spark, and the cart can get pushing if somebody occupies it. There you go. Piggy and Xerneas collapse.
It's a common problem between these teams now. Common problem between these two teams. A lot of them are spending a little bit too much time off the objectives.
Yeah. Somebody's got to push at the end of it all.
Yeah.
I think get it moving now. And Xerneas gets Teru again. He just catches him coming out of the castle, just spamming that angle. Pineapple once more, pulse bomb in hand. Can he get the better of Xerneas this time around? We'll have to just wait and see, because Xerneas right now is nanoed up, and he is just charging forward. Does have the Transcendence, going to try to tuck away. Does successfully avoid the explosive blast. The cart continues to get inched up as Xerneas is just running it forward. Transcendence now in response to getting antied. Knew that the rest of the team, the DPS, were going to come encroaching on his position. Pineapple EMP'd, taken down. The hack comes in onto Shy, and they just spill forward onto the cart one after the other. Choice1 does get jumped on, takes a good chunk of damage here as Bernard was playing like a sneaky diva around the corner. Something we don't get to see too often, but it doesn't lead to a kill. And Guangzhou charge, I mean, they have a very speedy second phase of the map. Now they have 2.5 minutes to try to get to the end.
I don't know what has happened, Seth, but I think there's been a bit of corporate espionage in between this yesterday's match and today. Somehow the makers of Xerneas' software have found the exploits, the hacks that Teru was using yesterday, and updated them into their own code. Xerneas is an absolute monster today, finding these picks, winning duels against Pineapple and Teru. It's just keeping charge ahead in this map and just constantly giving them that early advantage before the fight even begins. This is Sojourn level of first pick impacts coming in right now from a Zenyatta.
Yeah, and look at the amount of space that's given up by the Hangzhou Spark. The car is already routed into the final corner. Took less than a minute to get to this position. Granted, breaking through here to get to the end is the toughest part. But with how they're playing right now, it seems certainly very doable with time in the bank still. Hack onto Piggy, they push forward, Pulse Bomb goes out, that will bring him out of the mech, but he does manage to get the self-destruct, just pulls away. Wants to safely get back in, and he does. The punish, not gonna be found, the Baby Diva not taken out. Choice1 continues to play around the flank, he's identified his targets. Tries to go in, avoids the sleep, takes a bit of damage. Bernard now gonna be forced to the mech as well, sends out that self-destruct, but Bernard
doesn't remake!
Taken down, Xerneas again finds the kill. Falls low, EMP comes through, they cannot keep him alive. You're so damn close to having that Transcendence up as well. Piggy immediately wraps around, gets over to try to save Farway's life, but Farway says, I don't need saving, I'm here to kill people. Takes out Pineapple, now Transcendence is forced. Teru just has to pull back around the corner. Guangzhou charge still occupy forward space, and this should be Hangzhou. This should be their time to move up and actually contest over by the castle door.
Yeah, still winnable, but not in lockout territory. They've gone sub 1 minute, Seth, so it does mean that there's a little bit more flexibility for Spark on their offense right now. And here's the reset coming in. Anti onto Bernard. Jimmy's getting in position. Xerneas has that Transcendence, big tool for them. They might want to use it to save Piggy's mech.
Yep, they do.
There's the EMP as well
the
to the
EMP
backline.
catches both the supports, and Darrow already going to be taken out of the fight. Bernard chunked out, knocked down the mech. Pineapple taking a bit of damage as well. Needs this pulse bomb that he's about to have a huge amount of value, but Choice A1 with the help of Xerneas will just go ahead and strike him down. Xerneas will finally be felled, but I don't think there's much else that Shy can do here. The cleanup comes in, Terror with the swap onto the Lucio is just not elusive enough. And with 7.2 seconds remaining, the Guangzhou charge will make it to the end of Eichenwald.
Point C was basically non-existent until the end there, Seth. There was no fight, no resistance at the beginning of the castle phase. Just able to be walked in there by the charge. Like you said, they gave Charge so much space to be able to get them to this home stretch, and they were able to find all these crevices and all these hallways to hide in and recuperate when things got a little bit too extreme. You know, Piggy got demech'd, and there's a lot of places to hide while you're waiting for the ability to get your mech back after the self-destruct where you're safe. You got supports hiding everywhere. Really forces Shy and Pineapple to take these weird angles, weird corridor chases to find these targets and isolate themselves from LOS of any of their own supports to do so. Really makes it difficult to find those picks.
It's really bizarre. It felt like Hangzhou Spark were holding it like a house swarming. It was like, oh, come on in, have some hors d'oeuvres. Like, take a stroll around the place, see how you like it. Like, they just did not try to contest forward at all.
And then by the time they did, it was already too late. They were on their doorstep. They were basically waiting to look inside the master bedroom.
Yeah. Well, Guangzhou charge now going to be on the defense, and as long as they don't have as catastrophic of a beginning, should be all right. You can see the pings coming down. They know Shy, they know his route, where he likes to go. Up and over, across the rooftops. Try to get himself in behind.
If he messes it up like he did yesterday, he might find a free kill like he did yesterday. Let's see if he can get it right this time around. Pineapple obviously going for the quick Widowmaker scout. Can't find anything, so we'll move back over to the Tracer. Here's Shy again.
Trying for it.
Do it in the
They're going to be very
first attempt.
Privy to this. Waits it out. There's a follow-up. The question is,
they know
is
they're
there
already
somebody waiting
shooting
for him? Yeah. Okay, they spy check it. Jimmy in position. Piggy going to be taking a nap off screen. Does get antied. Seems like the pressure is not going to be enough to take him out of the mech. And well, Shy gets in behind.
I know where he is. Just got decloaked there. Keeping an eye on
Spotted
where
out as his Pineapple. Take the mini pack away from him.
as well. Gonna control a lot of that space, make sure they're able to go. Choice A1.
Oh.
Been found by Burner.
Okay, but Shy's been found. He's sleeping, but the coverage is there. Bernard moves forward. Piggy now going to be taken out. And, well, said as long as they don't have a catastrophic first hold, but this is exactly that. Choice A1 getting taken down, not being able to get the punish on the Shy. They break through with relative ease. Hangzhou Spark now going to have 5.5 minutes, just about in the time bank for the next stretch.
Big advantage for them coming into point B. They did not have to work as hard as the Charge did on their offense. Despite giving up a lot of the map early, they did manage to burn a lot of that time back. So now, like I said, 5 minutes moving into point B. See, this section can be quite quick for them. They can carry a lot of that time back in to point C. It bodes very well for the second innings, and see if they can come out with the win here. But that's still a bit of a stretch. Whole 2/3 of this map to go still.
Plenty more to be done. It's a very solid start. Looks for the hack, actually backs away before it finishes. Pineapple moves forward, pulse bomb out, doesn't get anything, but Shy will find far away. So good pick off all the same. Pursues forward, trying to get Choice A1, takes him low, but cannot find that kill. Cart steadily advancing here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Now it's the Guangzhou Charger need to have that kind of forward contest that we were talking about. Pulse bomb out, not going to get the kill. Irony still safe. Piggy on the other hand, completely corralled into the corner and is very swiftly dealt with as he gets broken out of the mech.
Well, get someone on that payload, get it moving. There's no tank to challenge you from the Charge. You can get some great mileage from this one. And this is an angle set up for Teru. He can just watch that corridor. That entry route now becomes a lethal passage. It's basically a no man's land for them. They have to keep finding different ways to get out. Teru, if he plays the long sight line, does get quite vulnerable to someone like Choice A1 getting behind him. He can find a route round.
EMP up onto the ramparts, solo onto Irony. They find the kill for it. Jimmy taking the health pack into the stealth now. It's rotating back out. Pack into the back line. Just finds Bernard this time around, but they know the Teru is going to be damn low, but he doesn't confirm the kill. He backs away. Choice A1 goes in, tries to find it. Piggy backing him up, will be able to get that elimination. Choice A1 applies a little bit of pressure, tickling from above. And that has forced the Hangzhou Spark to go ahead and retreat.
They got to have a whole buffet of ultimates to use here on the next engagement.
Jimmy.
Seth.
Jimmy's going to look for the spawn camp potentially. And he gets it.
No. Oh, Teru, that's sad. Do you know how oppressive this could be if Jimmy just waits here? Someone has to go back and answer it because every time Jimmy should be able to win that 1v1. He has translocated out. Did get spy checked. So we can't see that use this all
See Shy backing away from the 1v1. He knows what Xerneas has been doing this whole game. He's like, I'm not going to try my luck. 5 ults to 4 right now as Jimmy tries to get that next EMP up and ready to go. Time has been bought.
Jimmy's found someone.
About to be 3 minutes burned off the time bank here.
There's a 2v1 in the basement.
They're not spy checking though.
Looking for Pineapple.
Shy just rotating around. Okay, well, Choice A1 can just do that, I suppose. Now they find Shy's position. Choi down low, gets finished off. Piggy chases in to try to find the elimination to counteract it. Can't quite make it happen. Now he's going to be isolated over by the cart. Jimmy getting ready to join back in. He's so damn close actually to having this EMP, so we're going to have a full-on 5v5 ult, but Xerneas just snipes another across the way, denies the EMP as well, gets into the Transcendence. What a reaction!
Unbelievable stuff from Xerneas here. Just the clutch factor from this lad today has been insane. You know, Spark's setting things up, getting ready to go. Xerneas comes in clutch. Yeah, now Shy's dead again.
Oh, this is just...
It's like poetry at rhymes.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous to watch. And I gotta say, you know what? I'm gonna do that hipster thing. I was a fan of Xerneas forever ago when he was Yveltal. I've been saying that, you know, I was one of the only people who voted for Yveltal as a role star all the way back in 2019 because I was like, this guy is incredible. And he is now he's playing Zenyatta, and he is just pounding. I love this guy.
Yeah, dude, Seth, like, I'm looking forward to, when we cut back to camera, seeing the beard grow out, a little bit of a top knot come in. You know, maybe like a decaf decaf coffee with some alternative sourced milk. Like, it's all coming up for you. I can just feel the hipster emanating from you.
Oh, here we go.
Terror's on the mark.
And it's just beautifully executed. Hangzhou Spark, they're losing the plot. They're not covering this backline at all. They have to know that Jimmy has his EMP. He has already spawn camped them once before. They have to expect it again.
He's getting in position to do it once more. Look at the spy checking. Bernard looking on the all-axis just to try and find out where he's hiding and stop that spawn camp from coming in. 45 seconds remaining. We're getting down to the last hurdle for Spark to get point B capped and get a time bank extension.
Absolutely incredible. It certainly is still possible for them to be able to finish this map. Granted, you know, in overtime, but not the worst thing given that it's only 7.2 seconds in the time bank for the Guangzhou charge. So it will be pretty close together, but they still need to make it there. There's a push forward. Nano boost out to Bernard. Xerneas under a bit of fire, gets hacked, reads that Pineapple is around the flank, goes for the kill, and it gets him again! He is reading it perfectly! And now he's nearly got another Transcendence ready to go. He needs to pump out damage. Terror going to beat him to the punch there. Self-destruct comes in. Choice one finds Irony. Gets the kill. Bernard going to be something for a brief little moment. Now the Transcendence is built up. Xerneas keeps everybody alive. Terror was only able to find one. The EMP comes across and catches the 4 remaining members.
Oh no, he's off the map!
Going to be knocked off the side of the map. And suddenly, they actually managed to make this one work. Recall comes in. Jimmy manages to go for the contest, and somehow the rug has been pulled out from beneath the Guangzhou charge. It seemed like the fight should have been theirs. It seemed like that should have been them holding successfully in front of B. But the EMP, it buys enough space. The self-destruct gets the kill, sends Piggy off the side of the map so he cannot recontest.
That might have been a different story if Piggy was just orientated slightly differently. If he lands, gets the bunny blaster, it's just extra damage on the map instead of instant deletion for them. It's an unfortunate angle to take. Definitely wouldn't have been a guaranteed save, but certainly would have helped the charge hold on to point B. 1 minute left in the time bank. Like we said, the lockout is not there because they have a sub 1 minute time bank themselves when they went on the offense. They're just playing to stop a second innings at this point, and it's more than possible for them with 40 seconds remaining.
Good dash away. Tristan one avoids the hack. Pineapple has the pulse. Dash around the flank. See the D-Matrix tracking them from Piggy. Just perfect to keep Choice A1 protected. Jimmy going to make his exit. EMP is at the ready, though. The Nano Boost nearly there as well from far away, so if Piggy gets into a bad spot, they have that as a bailout.
Piggy put the child gate on the stairs. They're not allowing them up there at the moment. They're stopping the free territory to give it over. 20 seconds
Doesn't find the
remaining.
hit. Now they're running out of time. Jimmy waiting, ready to strike. Goes back into stealth. Looks to try to get across the opposite side, but does get spy checked, dragged out. Seems like he's more than happy to play this position. Running now down into overtime. The cart still not making it around this final corner. Pressure being applied. They're looking for choice they want. They force him. They make him reroute. The EMP now going to be used. Goes straight in only for Bernard, however. So overall, not going to find that much impact. Piggy instead now going to be broken out of the mech shine. Managing to find that one. Nano boost on the choice they want. Maybe Diva finished off. So far the only casualty in the fight. Bernard going to be boosted up. The cart advancing forward. They need Piggy to respawn. They need him to get back into this. Somebody needs a touch. 1.75 meters left to go. They move away from it. They get back on once more.
Jimmy Widow
swaps over to the Widowmaker. He's whipping the shots and they get pushed away. Choice they want needed to be. Oh wait, no. What? What? No, C9! They C9'd it! How? Trid?
I don't know. Both of us had the same reaction. We're just like, charge didn't touch. That's Spark forcing out another round.
Guangzhou handed this to them on a silver platter. Jimmy swaps to the Widowmaker. He's whipping shots. Choice they want's recalled off the cart. All they had to do was stay on it. I'm going to need to see the replay. I'm going to need to see a replay. As soon as we come back to the break, I need to see a replay as to what in the hell just transpired. Because I said, oh no. Guangzhou charged. They stepped away. They didn't keep it contested. It is what it is. Now we go to extra innings. And then I see Guangzhou charge. Victory. Pop up on my screen. What in the hell just happened?
We will try and get confirmation, Seth, as we head to the break.
You know, I can't imagine how Hangzhou's feeling right now, but me, as a third party, not biased, I'm kind of tilted. I need to cool off. We're going to go to a break so I can take a breather, do a couple laps around my apartment, get ready for what could be the final map. I mean, you kind of mentioned it, that it could be a 3-0. And after that one, how do you mentally recover? Because, yeah, Hangzhou Spark, they avoided getting reverse swept just yesterday, but it wasn't off the back of just a Giga C9. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to go to a quick little break, and when we come back, it's going to be Junkertown to see if the Hangzhou Spark can hold into this. And welcome back. Let's take a closer look. Let's put our forensic goggles on and see just what the hell happened. Yep, there it is. There it is. So, you know,
we're getting multiple angles.
He was whipping his shots. He wasn't hitting Teru, but the Widowmaker baited him off the cart. They said, "Oh, we gotta kill Jimmy, guys!" And they sent multiple people to try to get it done. He grapples to the side, and Jimmy successfully took them on a merry chase away from the cart, resulting in a map loss. That's right, we've got it from every angle, slowed down for you all to see it in its just despicable form.
I cannot believe that Jimmy is still a huge impact player without landing a single shot.
Yep.
That's the takeaway there. They were like, oh no, he's on Widowmaker. We know how this goes, guys. Misses every shot. Drags the Diva and the Tracer up towards him. It's
This was not the Bren highlight headshot after headshot after headshot. This was the whiff after they won. And I mean, you could just see that they are absolutely elated by it. It took them a minute, I think, to really register what was happening as well. But yeah, it seems like the Guangzhou Charge, rightfully so, are in high spirits. Hangzhou Spark now, redeem yourselves. Make up for the mistakes of that last map and start pulling off a reverse sweep. Junkertown needs to be the staging ground for it, so we'll see if they can get on their merry ways with this one, or if it's going to be, honestly, I think this would be the only 3-0 win for the Guangzhou Charge, except maybe one versus the Valiant. I don't really know. I don't have their records in front of me, but that just seems correct in my brain. Either way, it would definitely be the most recent win that would be clean, so we'll see if they can make it happen.
Look, Seth, I mean, in the break, we were having a conversation about, even as a third party, how tilted and a little bit mentally boomed we are via proxy. There's a steep valley of mental that the Spark are going to have to pull themselves out of moving into this third map, because if we felt it, you can bet everything that they felt that one. They're going to go onto the defense first, though, running out with the consistent composition they've had the entire series. I think Jimmy's going to be cheeky on that Widowmaker to begin with. But yeah, as they're highlighting there, we'll probably play the Sombra for the remainder of the map. At the top of the series, Seth, I highlighted that it was Shy and Pineapple's Sombra Tracer duo that was going to be really impressive against the Charge. Well, Xerneas and Faraway have had no issues resisting them right now, and Jimmy and Choice1 seem to be the dominant dive duo.
Oh, man.
This is what I said. Faraway lands the sleep on Shy, calls in Choi for the reinforcements, and just demolishes him. This backline of Charge is having a standout performance today.
Production, do we have to play out the rest of this map? Can we just end? No? We have, okay. All right, we have to.
Okay, so we have to watch the rest of this, apparently. So already, great pick. Shy shut down. Jimmy doesn't get a lead off of this, so Shy's right back into the action and is building up towards that EMP. He's fortunate for him. It's the one solid takeaway, the silver lining that can be found. And the cart is just now getting ready to move out of the choke, and they actually have to let it drift forward. So now it's out into the open. Bonus on Charge. Now to go ahead and continue this push. Xerneas safely just firing off here from the back line. Gets a couple straight connections in. Helps chunk Irony down to about half HP. Now the anti-nade lands onto him. Teru under fire. Choice1. He gets down and dirty. Finds the kills. Nice bombing there from Bernard. Try to alleviate some of the pressure. But ultimately the supports are gone and A will be capped.
Choi and Jimmy every time finding Irony and Teru in these fights. Both of them go down hand in hand. They give themselves a little fist bump as they walk away and go, job well done, fellas. Even with Bernard eating up the pulse bomb, still gets the job done, clears them out, moves on to point B, record pace. They got 5 minutes in the time bank. This is oppressive from the Charge, and it shows no signs of stopping.
No, it does not. 4 minutes, 40 seconds for the second stretch here. Dash forward, looks for the stick, just narrowly misses Faraway. Explosion even gets some damage in, takes him down below half, but it's not enough for the execution. Teru is just, I mean, Xerneas is just taking him to school.
These volleys, charging up the right clicks, getting the nail down to them. Find these little like angles, you can just see peeking Bernard. It's not going to chance it. Look how much time it's buying, though. Bernard has to find an alternative route, and they're already knocking on the door of point C.
Yep. It's been, what, 40 seconds? And they're already at this point. Push up to the top, forces Shy to translocate away. EMP is held, but Jimmy's going to use his first. Gets into the back line. It's a follow-up, however. It's actually going to be Bernard coming to the rescue. Keeps Teru alive, helps him get that kill. Still is being harassed a bit here. As he tries to poke and prod his way out. Shy again getting chunks. He's going to have to get some healing before he can go for his own EMP play. It seems like Guangzhou Charge more than happy to wait this out, wait for the full 5 to rejoin.
They got the luxury of a time bank, Seth. They're able to burn and play around with as much as they can. EMP goes in, they trade out.
They do. It's going to be a support for DPS this time. Xerneas not able to be fast enough on the trigger to go ahead and pop that Transcendence to keep himself alive. Choice A1. Manages to find Irony. Throwing in that pulse bomb. Bernard going to be taken out. Self-destruct. Not going to be able to find any eliminations either. So in the end, it's widely a trade up here from the side of the Guangzhou Charge. They still need to get this card across the line. Transcendence in response. Teru moves forward, but he doesn't get there in time. He doesn't give it contested. 4.5 minutes now in the time bank as they get the cap on B. I'm losing my mind.
Oh, I took psychic damage from that, Seth. I took psychic damage. He used the Transcendence to stay alive, try and keep the contest alive, but he doesn't even touch the point. That ultimate thrown to the wind. Because it did not even do the very thing it was designed to do. 4 minutes 14 as we move into the final section of this map. Spark are in disarray right now. There are a few moments of brilliance where they can find the occasional pick, but wholesale this team is struggling right now.
It's just, I don't know what it is, but today, staying on the point, touching it, it's just been a difficult test for Hangzhou Spark. I mean, we saw it happen on Sanctuary. They weren't able to get the touch there to keep things contested. They're just getting out-pressured and clearly getting frazzled right now by the Guangzhou Charge.
But this is the most APAC thing ever, Seth.
Aggressive play. Xerneas will finally get taken down. Pineapple able to find that pick. Shy going to be taking a nap, but it seems like he's playing in distance and does get woken up and is able to translocate out. Far away as well, now falling, so that's going to be a nice little stagger, separating the support, split spotting them a bit. Guangzhou Charge do have to go for a full reset, so for the very first time it seems in this map, if not for this series, Hangzhou Spark are very firmly in control and they have this card unlocked.
Yeah, they found the brake pedal on the car and they finally slammed it shut, and now the payload's going to be stopping for a moment. But as I was about to say, Seth, this would be the most APAC thing ever. Spark come off of one of the most ridiculous upsets so far, taking out the Seoul Dynasty, and then they just get themselves deleted by the Charge.
I said that I would bring this up again if it looked like it was going to happen, and here we are, Trid. We were talking about this well before the matches even began. I said it would be a very Hangzhou thing to beat the Dynasty yesterday and then lose the Guangzhou Charge here today. And right now, it's looking like it's going to happen.
But hang on a
need
minute,
to be
what is more like APAC though for them to go down 2 maps and then reverse sweep in a 5-map series? Teru finally has woken up and is actually starting to get the better of Xerneas in a couple of these trades, so tides have been starting to turn slightly at the end of Junkertown.
Teru getting pinched here. Jimmy applying pressure from behind, but Bionave is in from Irony. He's able to keep him sustained. Again, forced reset for the Guangzhou Charge. Ults racking up on both sides, but Hangzhou Spark closer to 5. Guangzhou about to have 3. They can still find an advantage if they get a good EMP through, and I think Jimmy, no, he actually didn't know to Shy. Hack comes across on the Piggy. They apply a bit of pressure to him, but the heals come in. EMP out into the back line. Irony gonna fall. Piggy able to get on top of Terror, then find the supports. That's the space that they've been needing. Nano out on Xerneas to make sure that he stays alive, and now Bernard gonna be broken out of the mech. He doesn't commit the self-destruct to the fight. Card again gonna be advancing forward. As the cleanup continues to be found, Pineapple cannot die here. Any additional staggers would just be catastrophic for the Hangzhou Spark.
At what point, Seth, is the Nano Xerneas not a defensive tool, but actually your most viable option for damage dealing? Like, at what point are you stop using it to save Xerneas, but more so empower Xerneas to deal more damage? Because I feel like he has got to have Nano Prio this entire series from far away, and it's not always been to save him.
God, could you imagine if we still had, you know, 6 characters, 6 players in a lobby, you'd have 3 supports, get the Kiriko ult in there with Xerneas nanoed up. Sounds nasty.
Nightmare.
Maybe gonna be hacked though. Takes quite a bit of damage. Slept, knocked out of the mech. 56 seconds remaining. Piggy going down means that they have to reset right now. Xerneas, if you're going to die, you need to die now. Grabs the health pack to actually extend for a little bit longer. But final fight, Hangzhou Spark definitely in a position where they can get this hold to happen. 4 ults ready to go. Jimmy, now dead. That's a huge dagger.
Yeah, 35 seconds left in the clock. Jimmy can move around quite quickly with the translocator, stealth into the back line. Not close to that EMP just yet, but probably build this in this fight. Spark have so many tools to deflect this offense from charge. It's not looking good for a charge completion unless Xerneas does that!
Oh, and they're going to get both of them. Shy slipped. They get the setup. They find both of the damage dealers right off the rip. Bernard now going to be hacked to push forward. The
It's over.
Arrow has to use the Transcendence. He keeps himself alive. Mitigates the pulse. Bernard out dropping down, playing alone. Irony trying to match. They drop into their demise. Terror
found him.
taken out. The Nano is rolling. Irony able to find one. Faraway now dead. Xerneas, the lone support, trying to keep them in this fight. Pulse bomb from Pineapple doesn't
They
get
don't touch
anything,
again!
but they don't touch again.
How many times? How many times, Seth?
I'm just gonna curl up into a ball. I'm in the fetal position. I'm gonna be crying, taking a cold shower later tonight like I'm Ace Ventura.
Oh my God, I cannot believe it. We were talking about how difficult that final fight was going to be for the charge to go. Look at the chat. Oh my God, the players are acknowledging
Terror
it.
saying it too. They're self-aware.
They know. I don't know if that appeared on the broadcast, but in all chat, you just see C9, 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 C9 from Charge, and then Teru drops in a C9 Festival.
C9
They're
Festival.
aware of what's going on right now. But as I was saying, Seth, it's like we were talking about how difficult that fight could have been for the Charge based on ultimate economy alone. And Xerneas comes out here, takes Pineapple off the field. Moments later, Shy gets slept and deleted as well. Both damage dealers off the map before the fight even begins. Once again, the back line setting all of that up for the charge. It was the sleep dart from far away that knocked Shy on his back. It's Xerneas' right click that's demolishing Pineapple. Look, player of the match has pretty much already been secured by Xerneas. Like, the eye test just tells you that. But Faraway has been playing amazing as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody right now on Charge is just, they're just diffing them in pretty much every regard.
See how they go. They did manage to expend all the time bank though, so we're not playing with anything in the second innings. It's on Spark to finish the map and see if they can have another attempt at this and kickstart their path back into this series.
Gotta imagine the Fusion right now watching this one have their feet kicked up on the desk saying, yep, doesn't really matter what we do after, in our series tonight after this.
Sigh of relief for the Fusion camp.
I mean, Hangzhou getting crushed is just the best thing that could possibly happen for the Fusion. Shy taking a second attempt, gets himself into the back line. Bernard hacked. Choice one puts a decent amount of damage down onto him. Piggy, in the meantime, very much safe. Charge up, looking for the track. Not going to find anything this time around. Okay, but Teru, able to strike. Finds Choice A1. Nice early punish. We have seen things spiral a bit for Guangzhou when Choice A1's the first one to fall. Piggy slept for a brief little moment there, but woken up, is still safe. Far away protected, and this has bought the Hangzhou Spark a considerable amount of space now in front of point A.
Basically point A. Basically have point A in the bag right now. Gonna need a big emergence from the charge to get onto the payload. Piggy's the first one to touch. You got supports on the high ground, already spotted out there by Pineapple, just protecting and guarding that route of entry, but Shy's found a way in. Shy's now up there with the support line, and Pineapple's right down the corner of a pulse bomb.
Bernard looking out of the back, push forward, there's going to be the stick, and he does get Xerneas for his troubles. He was 11% away from having that Transcendence online, so does get taken down. Bernard still in his pilot form, is trying to pistol his way back in. You can see them pushing forward, they get that elimination at the end, but now Faraway going to be traded out. EMP strikes from Jimmy, they find Teru. Irony, sliver of HP gets finished off. And it seems like despite the fact that things were looking good for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, yeah, they will be able to hold this because there's just not really anything that Pineapple can do versus Piggy right now. Xerneas re-arrives. They get the kill onto Shy. Piggy, he still holds on to the max. Transcendence now.
Oh my God.
Xerneas just committing it. Says, yeah, I think we can get this full hold. Goes ahead, pops the ultimate. And they're in it for the long haul.
They do need to be conscious of the overhaul, though. Teru's about to get that Transcendence online. They're not going to be able to match that healing in any regard in that next skirmish. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Pineapple has a pulse bomb. There's also the EMP from Shy. Spark have a lot of tools to be able to break this, Seth. We just need some clutch factor from the back line. Bomb over the
where you
top, there's no
gonna go?
cover. Force the Transcendence early, and Irony still goes down!
Irony, yeah, nothing to do to try to save him there. Far away under a good amount of pressure. Throws out the bio nade, throws out a sleep. Does live for a little bit longer. But ultimately, it's the nano that he offers up here to Piggy.
Oh, he does not
In his dying breath. Remech denied. Piggy finds the kill. Jimmy arrives. Shy trying to skirmish here on the cart, but has to translocate away. Now, it's just 50 seconds remaining. Time bought far away, going to be allowed to rejoin in with the rest of the squad. Choi Se-wan, Pineapple, in all likelihood have to be the difference makers here for either side with these pulses, but Jimmy as well, in an extended fight, will be able to get this EMP.
I can't believe it. Piggy opens that up with the Cristiano Ronaldo chip over the top, straight over the head, in the goal, finding a kill, forcing the Transcendence, kicks the fight off in the best fashion. Stick comes in!
Irony is just getting bullied out of
20
existence.
seconds!
Choi Se-wan finds Teru. Bernard demeched with 18 seconds remaining. Shy now dealt with. Choi Se-wan comes up with 3 in the fight. The Baby Diva's up onto the high ground, and they are bullying the ever-loving hell out of Bernard. He's got the remake available. Xerneas finishes him off. And that should just be it. Pineapple, where you at? Do we see a touch? He does manage to get the contest in time to force out OT, but the EMP strikes into the back line. Teru is dead. The OT bleeds away. It is a full hold to go ahead and round out the series. Guangzhou Charge playing the cleanest match that we have seen from them in not just this season, but I'd say in years. This was a one-sided affair, a 3-0 as they take down the Hangzhou Spark, a team that just yesterday denied a reverse sweep away from the Seoul Dynasty.
Look, Seth, this is APAC hours. We talked about this while me and you were getting ready. It's just like, it could be a 15 map day. I don't know about that one. APAC's pretty wild. I think if we think it's going to be 5 maps, it's probably going to be 3. To be honest, when I fought the 3-0, I had that with the Spark in mind taking this series, not them getting absolutely bodied by the Charge. Good lord. Like you said, Seth, this is one of the best performances we've seen out of them in a very long time.
It was just impeccable. They had every single read on what the Spark was going to do, except for when Spark C9, because I don't think anybody saw those ones coming.
No.
But, even as far as just the strategy is concerned, they had the read. They knew what Shy's pathing was going to be like. They spy checked him while he was trying to jump over the top of the building on Eichenwald. It was just perfectly played from the Charge. And one of the guys, of course, I mean, he was a standout. Yesterday, he was a standout again today, is Xerneas, because good God, he continues to look incredible. And sometimes I have to question, why did Chengdu ever let this guy go? He's our player of the match, by the way.
I don't know. Yeah, 100%, without a doubt. Like, there was no doubt that this is going to be going. The only thing I'm doubting, though, Steph, is we're probably going to have someone check his PC after the game just to make sure, because this was not natural. What he was getting away with this series. Winning duels against Pineapple in neutral 1v1s without supports or assists coming in, constantly beating the hell out of him, and finding these ridiculous headshots with the volleys. Look at this! Teru just doesn't know what hit him.
There's multiple times.
Ragdolled over the bridge. Yeah, not only to Teru, he did it to Irony, he kept hitting Choi. Ugh. And then this time, clutch moment with the Transcendence comes in just in time as well, saves the rest of his team, sustaining Piggy at the end to keep the contest alive on point A, helping with the assassination onto the Tracer of Pineapple, then pops the healing to keep the mech up. Yeah, like you said, just unreal talent, and Seth, you can be a hipster all you want about praising Xerneas ahead of everyone else's time, but yeah, everyone's a Xerneas fan today.
Certainly are. I mean, half of his eliminations, he got final blows. That is the Zenyatta. This was incredible from him. So, very well-deserved player of the match for Xerneas, and I just can't wait to keep watching him, perform like this, because he's just incredible. He's improved on his Lucio skill. His Zenyatta is through the roof right now. If only we could get another Mercy meta back just so we could see him go back to playing that, because he was, and probably still is, the best in the world when it comes down to Mercy performances. So I would love to see even more of that, even if Mercy metas oftentimes can be a little bit more boring. But man, what a way to kick off the evening. I said maybe it's going to be 15 maps, going to be a pretty long evening, but that series took just a little over an hour to get through as we get delivered a very unexpected 3-0. but we're just getting started. We're going to have a game break after we go to a quick little break here, run some ads. We'll come back, we'll chat a little bit more about this, and then get geared up for our second series of the evening, which is going to be the Valiant going up against the Shanghai Dragons. We'll see what happens when we come back. We'll chat. So yeah, don't go anywhere. See you guys in a bit.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
And welcome back. It's time for our game break. We just had a very weird and very entertaining series at the end of it all. You know, everything that happened. Can't help but walk away and be like, well, that was definitely fun to watch, even if it was a lot of mold involved. But if you just tuned in, Guangzhou Charge, yes, they just 3-0'd the Hangzhou Spark. So, I mean, they bested them the last time that they faced off against each other. Granted, that was a 3-1. This time, they do it even more cleanly. So they are the better of the Zhous. They are the above-average Zhou. Hangzhou Spark now, with that loss, have to go through the play-ins in order to make it to the play-offs, which means the Fusion have clinched that third-place position. So congrats to them. And now they can just be big chillin' there in their series, which is going to be coming up after our next one. But, yeah, I don't know. What is your takeaway from this series here, Trid? Anything stand out to you?
I mean, we've already highlighted player of the match, Xerneas. This was not the only support member that I actually feel needs praise. Faraway and Xerneas were doing fantastically, deflecting the aggression from Shy and Pineapple. Also, want to give a shout out to Piggy. Piggy being a later addition to the team who has had serious impact. You can see that impact today. One of the reasons why Xerneas and Faraway were able to shut down Shy and Pineapple so easily is Piggy was there on the Diva with the DM nearly all the time. able to mitigate so much of that damage and make them share away. And even Xerneas and Faraway were able to take these relatively weird 1v1s against opponents like Pineapple, Shy, even Irony and Terror at times as well. So big day for the support lineup of the Charge. But I think you said it pretty well towards the end of the cast, Seth. It's just felt like an overall team diff. Like every position, every role that was fulfilled by both of these teams had a little something extra behind it for the Charge. They were just outpacing everyone. I think for the Spark itself, the moments they look best is when Teru was able to get online and find some picks perhaps. Pineapple and Shy still had a little bit of coordination, but the biggest letdown for the Spark today, Seth, was that they failed the touch point challenge. Now I know there's the brackets very hard against that challenge, but they really failed it today. Multiple times where we had one of the most egregious C9s, points on control being left up for grabs, not touching points as well, even on Junkertown and contesting. You had that huge whiff from Terror at the end of point B on Junkertown, where they popped the Transcendence, and really the only reason you would do that is to keep the point alive. They were the last man standing, and they were trying to buy time, and they couldn't even find a way to touch, so it just ended up being a wasted ultimate and granting that extension to the Charge. It was a systemic problem with the Spark today that needs to be resolved, because they've got a bit of a journey ahead of them, because they're now going to have to go through play-ins.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate spot to be in here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but I don't know. Like, I don't have any excuses,
What do you say? What can you say? What can you say about it? It's just
there's not much to say. It's just, you know, they had the fate in their own hands. It looked like they were on the right track with besting the Dynasty yesterday, but it completely spiraled out of control, and Guangzhou Charge got the better of them. So very well deserved for Guangzhou. Now a back-to-back victories, so it's not something that we see from them very often whatsoever. But that's just the beginning. We are just a third of the way through this long evening. Coming up next, we will have the LA Valiant going up against the Shanghai Dragons. This one, again, even though the Valiant are mathematically eliminated, they're not really playing for much else other than pride. I could still see them putting up a strong fight against the Shanghai Dragons. So we'll have to see how well downloaded the meta is in Shanghai's, mainframe, their hard drive, whatever their collective hive mind is, and how they store it. And we'll have to see if the Valiant are going to be able to rally back and want to put on a strong showing and, show their fans who have been, standing by them for a very long time that it's unfortunate that we can't make it to the playoffs, we can't make it to the play-ins, but we're still here to compete. So we'll see what happens when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere, guys. The action is going to continue in just a few.
There's just so much talent in the league. It is time to announce the Overwatch League MVP nominees.
Season 5 of the Overwatch League has brought with it a new era of Overwatch and a new wave of MVP candidates.
Ooh, no way does he win that! Are you serious? That's what you want to see!
Your 2022 Overwatch League MVP nominees are Lip from the Shanghai Dragons.
Oh, Lip! It's sweet music to our ears!
Hanbin from the Dallas Fuel.
Hanbin is a one-man army at the front!
Kai from the Atlanta Rain.
The hit scan legend Killer AI, it's Mr. Kai.
Smurf from the Seoul Dynasty.
This is two-time champion Smurf.
Oh, that is disgusting.
That's just
so good.
Kevster from the Los Angeles Gladiators.
Oh my, that's perfect from Kevster!
Hardy from the London Spitfire.
What a slam! That's filthy. That's Hardy for you.
Zest from the Philadelphia Fusion.
Zest is Hunty.
No one can stop Zest. He's a burglar.
Proper from the San Francisco Shock.
Proper has arrived.
It could be one of the greatest rookie performances we've ever seen.
Prophet from the Seoul Dynasty.
And who's going to carry Hardy? It's going to be Prophet. What can you do when Prophet is this good?
And Shu from the Los Angeles Gladiators.
Shu making a name for himself. How does he keep doing this?
The winner will be determined by you, along with Overwatch League casters, teams, and the media. Use the hashtag OWLMVP on Twitter and tag your favorite player by their Twitter handle or in-game tag. You can also cast your vote by going to overwatchleague.com/MVP.
What is happening? Oh, somebody stop him!
Who will be your Overwatch League 5th season MVP? Help decide and cast your vote today. Voting ends October 10th.
back. It's time to go into our second series of the evening, and this is going to be the LA Valiant going up against the Shanghai Dragons. We just had a pretty wacky, wild, and very confusing series happen between the shows, where Guangzhou was able to walk away victorious, but something tells me that we're going to get a little bit more grounded coming into this set.
I would hope so as well, Seth, and I think what we should do is collectively we should erase that last match from our collective consciousness. I think that's dealt enough damage to society as is already. It is unfortunately our encore match as well, so the North American audience tuning in to watch NA later will have to sit through that if they're watching for drops as well, so have fun with that. I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as we did, but let's focus on something that you said it could be a little bit more grounded. This could be a little bit more wacky for me, because I feel like LA Valiant, you're right, Seth, they're out of contention. They can't really get into the play-ins. The season's effectively over. They're playing for pride. They're a bit of a silly team right now. They can have the occasional upset here and there. Shanghai Dragons looking a little bit better now, but Countdown Cup has not been their stage whatsoever, so this could almost be as wild as the first match, I feel. Almost.
I mean, it definitely has that potential. We have seen the Shanghai Dragons flounder a bit as of late, but we'll have to wait and see, especially, who they're going to be running. Something tells me that we could take a very well-estimated guess as to what that's going to look like, but first we'll start with the starters on the side of the Valiant and see who they've got for us. And there's not really going to be too many surprises. Marvel's going to be starting in the tank position. We've got Easy Han and Becky here for DPS, and then Langsa and Molly. This whole team, overall, as of late, has been looking great. Despite the loss, despite not being able to make it into the play-ins, overall, this team has had a major resurgence, and they have, put some respect back on the Valiant name.
Yeah, building up the confidence in the roster. Taezonde, he was always happy regardless of how the Valiant performed, but he's particularly happy even now. You got to think about yesterday's scoreline. It was quite close between the Charge, even though they finished out 3-1, and we just saw how dominant they can be. I feel like they upgraded in between days, but Valiant being able to hold their own to that degree gives me a little bit of confidence they can at least make this competitive today, Seth. Marvel and Becky in particular have been quite interesting for this roster. They've been pretty well rounded. Let's take a look at the Shanghai Dragons though, because I feel like they have a lot more options they could play. Does not surprise me that Void is in the roster. Diva's been quite a strong pick, and Void loves to play that hero.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them, it's at times shoehorning the Diva in when it's not really finding much value. But as of late, the last couple times that we saw it pop up, it was looking a bit better. And overall, the Dragons were looking a hell of a lot stronger. Flooded was starting to find his form again, was finding impact on Tracer, something that had not been happening for the several series previously. So it's good to see that the Dragons have, at least for a single outing, looked a lot more like their former selves, the team that we know and love, the world beaters, the champions of the Overwatch League. Whether or not they could do that today versus the Valiant, who are going to be playing like people who have nothing to lose because they don't. We'll have to just wait and see.
It's the most dangerous position they can be in, but let's take a look at the map set for this series. I can already hear the music playing through. I know exactly where we're going, Seth. Looks like the first map for today is going to be Busan once again. We've got Kings Road, Dorado, Coliseum, and Lijiang on the table if we make it that far.
I'll have to just wait and see. Things got cut shy a little bit more than I would have anticipated.
Well, Shy got cut down quite a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking about doubling back and acknowledging the joke, but I was like, they've suffered enough, but you just went right in there to twist the knife.
Yeah, why not? It's open to do it. First round looks like, Seth, we are going to be kicking things off on Sanctuary.
It's a bit of a change.
We're going to launch him off. Yeah, usually it's Mecha Base. Don't know why. It always feels like it's Mecha Base or Downtown. Never Sanctuary to kick things off.
Well, here we go. Gate's going to be opening up. Looks like we will have the TP forward from Fleta. Swaps now over to the Tracer. So we'll just be not quite mirrored compositions, actually. Langsa comes out here with the Lucio, Marvel on the Winston. Void, of course, going to be sticking to the Diva. So Shanghai showing us, some more of what we have been seeing from them. Valiant not really looking to match. Dive in.
And there's a Goomba Stomp.
Yep. Well, that's a good way to start if you're a Valiant fan. Hack now out on the Void. The jump forward once more. Void instantly taken out of the back. And right now, Valiant looking great. Playing off each other incredibly well.
Yeah, great shutdowns there onto Void, and Lip guarantees him the first point, basically. Good pushback there. Just to try and keep him out of that one. keep him away and create some distance into space. The test the cannon isn't as effective, and you got time to get away. Point Cat went over to Valiant. They can now hold on to this. Becky climbing ahead in ult charge, as is Molly. I expect that Nano Winston to be an oppressive tool in Valiant's toolkit today.
Okay, hack on a Marvel. Trying to give him some similar treatment, but he manages to leap away, gets the bubble up, still is being harassed, however, Lip able to pursue forward.
Big.
Gets that kill, now Fleta finds Molly in the back line as well. The cleanup coming through, so a bit of a rocky start for them, but the Shanghai Dragons will be able to wrest control away from the Valiant. 31% set up here for LA. Shanghai now in control of the point.
Without having the insight, Seth, I'm not going to give it that they planned that, so I'm going to go with convenience instead. The translocator location was exactly where Marvel was retreating to after they got bursted down and hacked. So Marvel going to safety, thinking he was safe, the translocation from Lip comes out, and Lip is right on top of a critical health Marvel to spray him down. There was no escape for the Winston there. And so Lip converts the kill and makes it a 5v4.
Well, it's very well piloted from the Shanghai Dragons, finding some stability, now taking the lead. EMP out first from Lip. They instantly get on top of Molly, find that kill. Marvel as well going down. Leng's are going to be the one surviving through the EMP, at least for now. But going a bit on the hunt, but likely doesn't want to go deep enough. Potentially get punished. They have eyes on Lucio, though, through the wall, given the hack. For now, just continue to play forward. Fleta waiting for an opportunity to go try to invest this pulse bomb.
Constantly Lip deep behind territory, but it's actually Easy Khan's EMP that lands first. Doesn't convert the kill, but Lengsa does.
Yeah, Izzyaki just meant to stay alive up the Transcendence, and the pulse bomb goes in. They're trying to break Void out of the mag. Not enough damage though, and now he's got that self-destruct should he have it broken in the end. Lengsa going to be traded out. Marvel nanoed up for another target, holds onto the Primal in case he needs it here. And Void can't make his way back onto the point in time to keep this thing contested, so the flip will be there. Valiant back in control. Just halfway now tying up against the Shanghai Dragons. They need to hold this for a while.
And importantly enough, Shanghai Dragons realized that, yeah, there wasn't really a chance to hold there. Void had the option of using the self-destruct to remech quickly, but unfortunately, like I said, he realized that it's already pretty much would be wasted if they did that. So instead, opting to get demech'd and get sprayed down so that they can have a full reset and have that tool ready to go when there's a more competitive fight for the Shanghai Dragons to take.
Inching forward. 10% separating now. Sound barrier at the ready from Langson. He's going to drop the beat. Shielding goes out onto 3. He Marvel, Molly, all recipients. Sleep connects on a Marvel. They don't wake him up. Crucially played here. Now they look for the punish, and they instantly send him into orbit. Great hit from Izzyaki to get the killing blow. Shanghai Dragons, in the meantime, back in control of the point, retaking the lead once more. Langsa now dead. Marvel swapping over in desperation to the Doomfist, knows that he's going to have to try to get back in here quickly, but Molly gets picked off at the back end of the fight. It's a huge stagger. Langsa now swapping to the Brigitte as well, just to try to have a little bit of extra staying power, but to see. Becky likely the one to go for the touch as Easy Hunt gets spy checked. And Lip is very well aware of his position.
Right. Marvel's on point, so that will contest and will keep the overtime alive. Critical HP already backing out. Lip finding a target to hack. Izzyaki just deletes Becky.
Yep, takes him
Good
down. The
Lord,
pulse bomb
this
goes
round's
wide. They
over.
cannot find the kill. Now the EMP goes out. Not really going to clip anybody there. But Marvel gets antied. Langsa is cleaned up, and the Shanghai Dragons will be able to take the round in the end. So a solid start for the side of the Valiant, but it does come tumbling down around them by the end. 100 to 77%. Shanghai takes Sanctuary.
Look, that was quite like it's a zoning EMP, Seth. It's a zoning EMP. It's okay. They're allowed on control when it's literally a zone as the objective. Izzyaki finding that end up being frag. They follow up into 2. They have a 5v3 right at the end there. They're already on rush picks to try and sustain. They're on panic picks, not the main comp. Valiant needed to find clutch picks, not get clutched themselves if they were having any hope of flipping that round. As soon as they lose 2 members, you can pretty much write them off at that point. Shanghai Dragons take the first round. Now we move over to Mecha Base.
That we do. Gates will open up. Again, the TB's forward, the swaps to the Tracer. Comp's just going to be very much staying the same for either side. Marvel, again, looking to go aggressive off the rip, but it's going to be Izzyaki this time taken down, but has a fast trade. Becky falling to his hand. We'll just hug him back for now.
Izzyaki trade.
Dive straight. That's aggressive as hell. Lip just jumping straight into the bubble. Just trying to spray him right there in the face with that Mac 10. It's a little bit of damage on the Marvel. Now they will be able to pressure him out. Void chases forward. Manages to ram into him, finds the kill. Point unlocked. Shanghai Dragons have that forward position. Inside track, they get the lockdown first and foremost this time around.
Yeah, he entered the Thunderdome and immediately regretted the decision, it looks like. Seth, they just backed out straight away. Did not want to be locked in there with a Tesla cannon and out of LOS of any kind of support that could come in to help them. Point still control with Shanghai Dragons. Paulson goes out and finds Molly, so Dragons get to extend that lead further.
I mean, we're used to seeing Becky build these things up so rapidly, but instead it's Flutter who actually gets the lead in that regard. That also takes down Marvel. Becky retreating, grabs a health pack off screen to keep himself alive. Now is going to be spotted, as is EasyHan. They draw him out of stealth. Translocates away. Ping's coming in. They know exactly where he's at, and Void has the kill. Further staggers being found. Langton trying to move his way out of the spawn, but it's instantly greeted by a Bionade. Void just holds the door.
Void's happy to spray damage in there, just build up towards that self-destruct, added more staying power. Marvel sticking on this Doomfist as well, so finding a little bit more confidence or comfort in this one. Hopefully going to punch through the lines of the defense, get onto the back line, but just misses out when hitting Izayaki there. EasyHan was in range to follow up, so any form of CC could have been disastrous for Izayaki there.
Oh, Becky. 17 HP, wanted to go in, try to make a play with the pulse, but has to recall out. Mana boost on the Izayaki, trying to keep him alive. Flutter already has been claimed. Izayaki continues to go low as Marvel dives in, but then the EMP strikes, he ends up falling. Maybe going to be traded up. Becky able to find one. Point flip, getting ready to come through from the Valiant, but okay, Izayaki pulls the trigger, says I'm going to use a Transcendence. Void pistols down EasyHan in that with that Bunny Blaster, as you say. Gets the kill, and the Shanghai Dragons hold the point. 83%. Now it's final fight for Valiant. They need to get this flip, but they need to make it happen right now. But Becky has been eliminated, and that's one of their biggest extension tools taken away from them.
Okay, they have a fight extender with themselves if Valiant can get there. They have the Meteor Strike from Marvel. Should be able to have them get in and out if they need to recontest. Need to be careful of overtime knocking down. EasyHan will be there first. Backline charge for Marvel. He's gone straight towards him. Missed him. He's trapped in a corner.
Void slept, woken up, and they just don't touch. Is it going to happen again? 2 series in a row? This is just what's going to happen now?
Ah! I can feel my hairline receding, Seth. I can't do this again. Not again. I'm not strong enough.
Oh, boy. All right. All right. Strap in, everyone. It's going to be a very bumpy ride. There's once more, there is no touch.
Okay, well, we'll talk to production, see if we can get some circus music set up as well for when we come back.
If not, I'm pretty sure to sing it myself.
Yeah,
Anyway,
maybe we start verbalizing that.
They didn't touch. We don't get to see the overtime fight. Shanghai Dragons, they take the map 2-0 on Busan. It's theirs. Kings Row's coming up next, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. Goodbye. Sorry, I was just praying that teams learn how to touch the point. Welcome back! 1-0 start for the Shanghai Dragons as they take Busan with a 2-0. Fortunately, the LA Valiant just didn't play the point to try to extend over time, and that costs them the map in the end. So we don't get to see them pick up a single round. We don't get to see downtown. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the substitutions that we're going to be having. Sashin's going to be stepping in for Marvel. And then on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, we are going to be having Lee Jae-gon coming in for Bebe, as well as Who Are You for Fleta.
You know, at surface value, Seth, to me that says we're seeing Lucio and Genji coming in. Like I said, very surface level. But that would be where I would guess what's going to happen in the next map that's coming up. Of course, we already alluded to that it's going to be King's Row. So that would make sense to me as well that we see those two extremely mobile heroes making an appearance.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty safe bet. Who Are You coming into play anything other than the Genji would be a bit bizarre. Granted, we know that he can play things like the Tracer and whatnot, so if he needs to flip over to something like that, you know, if he's getting pressured out or, you know, depending on the point that they're playing, yada, 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 we know that he's capable of it. So definitely has that flexibility. So we'll see how he fares. But he has been looking like the best Genji that we have here in APAC. It's just unfortunately been not that often that we get to see too much of him. So I'm excited to see him stepping back in. And also seeing the Valiant try to make up for what we just witnessed.
Yeah, I can't really put the blame on Marvel, so I feel like they are going to have to redeem themselves, but subbing out Marvel for Sashin isn't the ultimate solution for them. There needs to be a lot more work on the Valiant to get around that, because ultimately, you know, we saw what the attempt was with Marvel on the Doomfist, get into the backline, try and pick off Izayaki or Bebe, got himself a little bit isolated and trapped in the corner, but when that happens, you communicate to your team and you have one of your other incredibly mobile heroes like a Sombra or Tracer get on point to buy more time. You don't just let a C9 happen, unfortunately. But, yeah, we'll see how that moves on. There is a capture point, so there is an opportunity for someone to C9 before we get to the escort section of this phase of this map, Seth. So, King's Row, our next destination. LA Valiant will be attacking first.
Anything is possible. We'll have to just see what happens here as we do go into King's Row. And, of course, Dorado coming up next after that. But unless the Valiant can get a map win in here somewhere, we might not be seeing Colosseo and Lijiang Tower. See how they fare, though. Need to just right the ship, shake off the loss, say, okay, you know what? We didn't get the touch, but that's fine. Just keep yourselves in the game, refocus, clear your head. Much like we're doing in between all of these maps that we've witnessed tonight.
We have to decompress, Seth. I mean, we've actually we've spoken to the league. We've actually got access to mental health services in between the breaks for some of these stuff. Like, the stress is just killing us.
Yeah, I've got a therapist on standby next to me, and I take the headset off and I immediately go lay down on the couch.
On the chaise lounger, just lying down there. Yeah.
It's like, and then they didn't touch the point again.
Yeah, it's honestly, like I said, I can't wait to see for the rest of the Owl enjoyers to watch the Encore match later and understand the pain we went through. But let's take a look at the pain Shanghai Dragons might have to suffer here. Sashin on the Zarya, Becky rolling out on the Echo, something they've not been afraid to do in this meta. So we're going with the Sojourn Echo combination for the LA Valiant. So definitely going to have to be looking up as well as to the left and right with this one.
Okay, it is a rare losing team first on the attack, which is not something that you see as a standard. It's always exciting to see Void back over onto the Zarya, though. Has been playing that D.Va so very much as of late. Back over to the pick now that made him famous. Real still charged up, Lip waiting for his opportunity. Doesn't send it over towards Easyhan. Waits it out, takes a nasty chunk, but spots Molly, gets him with a body shot. Can't quite finish him off. Molly lives to fight another day. Deflection pop from Who Are You? Becky still up in the skies, harassing where possible, trying to weave some of this damage in. Easyhan getting jumped up, and Lee Jae-gon is just right up close and personal. And Who Are You flying down on the ground, dashes through, gets in behind Molly, but ends up getting beamed. Becky finds the kill.
He's on 4 HP.
Shot through. Easyhan somehow on 4 HP, somehow still alive. Now receives a bit of healing. Trade comes in, though. Void finds Sashin, but now Lip taken down means that that's going to be the damage dealers out of the fight for the Shanghai Dragons. The Nana Boost goes over to Void. He's got high energy, and Molly just completely disappears. With that pick alone, it might just be enough, but no, Easyhan answers back. Another rail headshot. takes Izayaki out of the equation. 1.5 ticks given up here by Shanghai Dragons, but they still are holding forward here at the hotel. They're trying to win this one out. Sasha rejoins.
Seth, imagine if that 4 HP got converted onto Easyhan, and because Easyhan ultimately took out 2 bodies by himself there with the railgun. Easyhan's off the board there. Different story potentially for the Dragons. Nano Boost given over to Sasha and Graviton Surge thrown into the mix. They're delaying the inevitable though. Someone has to touch.
They're off the point. It's going to be Lee Jae-gon, of course, who moves forward to try to get this touch going through, but Sasha just kites around the corner, manages to track him down, finds the elimination. The anti comes through onto Void, and that is going to be the point broken open and captured. Shanghai Dragons not really able to occupy it for too very long here. Grab was used by Void solo onto Sasha, but Molly just nanoed him and says, okay,
follow it.
perfectly fine. Celebratory grab.
Where's it go?
Tracks it into the sky, and then disappears.
I genuinely thought Becky was doing some like 900 IQ lineup there where it was going to somehow stall the Dragons or catch someone on a split spawn. So I was like, oh, let's follow it. Let's see where it goes. Track it. And it just disappears in the sky.
Well, Lip moving forward, leading the team, pushing forward here around the corner, trying to get back over to the cart. They've already lost the opportunity to go for that arch control. If they can win out here, though, cart with a little bit of rollback, they can have that forward defensive position. Plenty of ults. Instant beat drop there from Lee Jae-gon in response. Blade pulled by Who Are You. Has them all zoned back. It's very much just looking to shove them away, but once that gets resheathed, the Valiant are straight back in onto the cart now. Going on the offensive. Overclock pop by Easyhan's looking for a target. Goes sliding over, looking for the flank angle. So far, no one looking at him. Now they're going to be well aware of it. But the rail shot, it actually goes wide. Lip comes diving down, gets on top of him for a brief little moment, and actually forces his position back. Thanks to falling Easyhan and Sasha all dead. Just Becky and Molly trying desperately to escape, but the chase is coming through, and they will not be allowed. Lee Jae-gon with a great little push in behind. Gets the boot back, sets up for the kill here for Void.
Shanghai Dragon fans obviously familiar with Lee Jae-gon just being everywhere on the map where you don't expect him. He's able to get behind a retreating lineup and push them back into combat. A high energy Void picking up the kills, sucking them all up, gets a Graviton Surge for this next fight. Now they're at the choke point. Becky's been deleted as well. They may not be on the payload, but they have control of the choke. You try and walk through here, you're walking into a Graviton Surge.
Yeah. This is where things can get very much dicey for the Valiant. It's a good start to the push. If they can break back through here, they can still have a decent enough time to try to finish the map, but every second that goes by, the odds look better and better for the Shanghai Dragons. They can catch over onto the flank, and that's just 2 locked up. Easyhan and Langsa knocked out of the park. Void still maintaining high energy here. The choke continues to be held.
Still maintaining that high energy. Void, don't bite off more than you can chew, though. If you go too deep, you might lose all the work you put in so far.
Oh.
That's rough.
Lip just
Lip
finding a freebie. Yeah, Head just inching out behind the corner. Gets the quick kill, but Easyhan responding quite nicely. Takes down Lip. Good amount of space going to be opened up. Does need an anti as he goes around the corner. A shot as well from Izayaki. Now slept, but obviously no one's going to be able to capitalize on this one, so he will be able to wake up. Becky now just helping escort the cart forward. Sasha, the grab, nearly online. Gets anti for a brief moment, but Becky could just as easily go for yet another duplicate here on the Void, try to have that second grab online once more.
Yeah, G-Bill, how come your mom lets you have 2 grabs? It's the option that always Becky will have in this matchup. Still just trying to keep Who Are You in check for the time being, giving damage, making them use their mobility, but here's a Nano Blade combo coming in. Bubbles deployed, there's nothing to stop this!
He delays it. He will be able to get easy on, but the shutdown was there. They had him antied out. Langsa is able to find the kill. Grab in once more. The beat comes through from Lee Jae-gon. Lip breaks Becky out of the duplicate with the headshot off that overclock. Knows that he's going to be skirting around the tops of those roofs somewhere, but hasn't quite been able to identify his position yet. Now they know he's going to be on the right side flank. Lip maybe watching for it. Sees him for a brief moment. Widely. They hold the Valiant back, at least for now. No ults on either side. Everybody quite far away, aside from Easyhan and Void, who's going to get this one ready to go, and he actually lets it loose. Grab goes in. Lip's got the angle, gets the headshot. Sasha taken down. Easyhan not going to be able to use his in this fight, not without the tank coming back in. He's actually maybe just not going to be able to use it at all. He gets picked off. Becky as well. Antied out. Molly out in the open. They look to finish him off, and they will. Void beams him down. And that's with 15 seconds remaining, and somebody's going to have to try to get this touch.
10 seconds remaining. Who's got the sprint option? Becky's lingering. They've
Oh,
spotted
they
him, though.
know.
Oh, the forward
Yep,
offering base. If they don't touch, it could be over already. They're
Yeah,
under
but he's up
pressure.
in the
Don't call
sky.
it a
He's going to be
C9.
taken down, and the touch is not going to be able to happen this time. It's not a C9. It is just
No,
the
not at
staggers
all.
over and over again. The Shanghai Dragons perfectly identifying where every member of the Valiant was at the ends of those fights to be able to pick them off one after the other. Now they have a very real, very obtainable win condition to try to move up 2-0.
Yeah, that's not egregious at all, chat. That's not egregious at all, viewers. It's just, like Seth
What's
said,
egregious is how dominant Shanghai was in the second point.
Oh, yeah, they kind of shut them down quite a bit. But no, you can see the attempt there. You had Molly and Becky just lying around ready to go. And yeah, they're waiting in that forward lineup, hoping they could sneak a back touch just to get the overtime going while the rest of the team came over. I think it was Lee Jae Gon who spotted them out by going up to the high ground. And at that point, it's like, hey guys, there's a 5v2 on the payload, let's just kill them. The only real option for Becky to stay alive was to go up and create some space between them and the damage that was being output. And unfortunately, if you're going up into the skybox, you're going further and further away from the payload. It's not like Lingza, who was also up there, could step forward. He's kind of being body blocked, forced into that room and broken into pieces as well. Not really an option there for Valiant to be able to touch and keep it alive. Now doing for the side switch. No real changes to the composition from Valiant. I don't expect Dragons will change it up either. They've got no reason to.
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep doing the same. Lip is, of course, going to be looking for the opening shot with the Widowmaker here. Anything that he could get would be monstrous. I have seen some oopsies. I think we did, yesterday on Paraíso with the kill coming out. It will just be the quick swap now over to the Sojourn. Lee Jae-gon already getting some time invested here on the point contest. And I mean, he's just trying to get on top of Becky. Puts a considerable amount of damage onto the Tracer. And I mean, this is just what we come to expect and love from Lee Jae-gon. Lives and dies by the aggression. Who are you? Doing much of the same. Gets Easy Han, but then gets traded.
Who are you for Easy Han? It's still manageable for Valiant to be able to hold this one.
For either side, but
Not if that
he's
happens.
completely caught out.
Not
He's
if
off that left side. Needed Sasha to be playing them with him, but no bubbles to be found. Just gets taken down. Limit testing a bit here. Falls a little bit low, but instantly continues to push, just stepping to Becky. Looks to build up for the rail. He'll dash, breaks line of sight, gets himself indoors. Who are you going on the chase? Says, okay, I'll just try to get this mega pack from you. Doesn't manage to do it, but forces the recall. Jumps back up top, and here comes Lip to the rescue. Continuously just forcing Becky back, finishes him with the punch, and that'll be the cap. A monstrous time bank here now for the Valiant to chew through. 5 minutes,
A monstrous
16
stagger as well.
seconds.
A monstrous stagger onto Becky, so that split spawn will be coming in for them. Bit of a trek to come back. They are on a Tracer, so blow a couple of the dashes and you're all going to be good. Great prediction there from Who Are You to predict where the movement was going to be. I believe he got the hit marker on the dashing Becky, forcing the recall immediately because they were just under so much pressure in that tiny room. Obviously, kill comes in there from Lip to secure it. Void, a little bit out of position by the time being. He's locked in, but he's in LOS of his healers, so he should be able to sustain it.
I think he's more than happy to be in this position. Sashin's actually trying to flush him out a little bit by pressuring the corner and threatening some of these supports. But you can see they don't even care. They just completely ignore Sashin. Now they put him on the ground with the sleep, so there's no bubbles to help rescue any of this back line. Where you gets in there, finds the kill. Sasha now has to basically int in onto the cart, give his life. He does so. Goes for the reset, but now 4 minutes, 21 seconds remaining. As Who Are You again?
What's Becky
Deja
doing
vu,
here?
Hunting down Becky here in the back room near the Mega Pack. Lee Jae-gon also getting involved. They force the recall, but Who Are You is right in on top of him, and this is just going to be some more stagger. Lee Jae-gon scoops the kill in the end. The cart has not stopped pushing this whole time. And
this is disastrous.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a 2-0. I see no world in which the Valiant are going to be able to bring back this defense, even with the ults that they have. They're going to try for it.
Trading grab.
Grab comes in. Sashin moves up, gets right on top, gets the kill there on Lee Jae-gon, but again, no one is able to touch the cart. And
That's
Shanghai
not even a
Dragons
C9 either.
will move up 2-0.
That's not even C9 either, Seth. That's just grabs being forced off the point. I mean, like, how much of a mental hit it is to Sashin to just feel like they don't even care about me. Like, they didn't even CC Sashin in any way, and they were running past him. They were like, we don't care about you. You're not even a threat to us. We're just going to go kill your backline. And then, obviously, they follow up with the sleep dart afterwards. And Sashin just kind of gets a little bit bullied there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end, you saw, like, Becky, I don't know what they're doing that deep. There's no reason for them to be outside the sport of the Shanghai Dragons like that. Maybe it was a pathing that was forced by the Dragons to get them down there, but really confusing to be there. And you saw how beyond the payload the Shanghai Dragons were playing at the end. That's why you could see Sargent and Void trading grabs off point. And even though it forced Lengza to drop the Transcendence to try and speed to the point while they were invulnerable, they were just out of range because the space had already been given up to the Dragons. They were already playing with territory they owned. Like you said, Seth, there was no real way that the Valiant were able to pull that off. There's a 2-0 at that point. We're now at match point.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you are right after all. Maybe it is just going to be an evening of 3-0s. Because right now...
Don't jinx it now.
Well, we'll see what happens. I've needed reverse sweep if the Valiant want to be able to pick up this victory here. But the Shanghai Dragons are... It seems like it wasn't a flash in the pan with them finding their identity, finding their original footing in that last series that they did play. It seems like they are here. They figured out the meta, and they are ready to play. Void looking impeccable on that Zarya. A big pick for him, and I'm hoping to see more of it when we come back from the break, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. It's time to go into what could very well be the final map of our second series here of the evening. Shanghai Dragons currently leading 2-0. Two very dominant performances so far. First on Busan, then on King's Row. Now we get ready to go into Dorado to see if it continues or if the Valiant will be able to pump the brakes a little bit and slow them down. We have some more substitutions coming in. 3 on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, as we will see Fleta come back in. Bebe in as well, and actually maybe it was just the 2. I can't do math anymore.
Fleta and Bebe
my
coming
brain's
back
been
in.
boomed too much, so.
Yeah, that's understandable. We've had a rough evening so far, Seth, when it comes to taking a lot of mental damage from the series we've seen so far. But it is just Fleta and Bebe coming back in, so Void, Lip, and Izayaki staying fairly consistent at a point. No substitutions from the LA Valiant. I think this is the roster they're going to ride or die with as we head into Dorado, which is going to be our 3rd map of the day. Just a quick recap of kind of the problem areas we've seen so far from the Valiant. No control of space, whatever. Sarshin is just not respected as a tank threat at all by the Dragons. They just completely run over Sarshin and go there. Now, I don't put the individual blame on Sarshin for that, clearly, because the tank is made up of multiple components of resource that are funneled into them. Sarshin needs to become a threat, otherwise they're just going to keep claiming all this free space and making it impossible for Valiant to contest objectives. Now, on an escort map, if the space is claimed the same way, where Dragons just supersede far beyond the payload itself, Valiant have no chance of stopping them, no chance of contesting when it comes down into overtime, and it can be an absolute disaster for them. But it's a new map, opportunity for a fresh start. They probably had a pep talk from the coaching staff. Let's see them pull it together and hopefully start that campaign for the reverse sweep against the Shanghai Dragons. Sorry, I couldn't say that without chuckling.
It's understandable. Maybe, 2 weeks ago, would be able to say it with a little bit more seriousness, but given what we have seen from the side of the Dragons, in their last series, in the first 2 maps of this one, it does seem like a bit of a far cry hope for the Valiant now to be able to turn things around. But if they could, what a story it would be. So I'll have to just wait and see if they can get it done. Or at least pick up 1 or 2 maps here for themselves. Given that Dia obviously not subbed in means that we're not going to be seeing any Widowmaker battles, which was something that I was hoping to perhaps see, because it's been a good long while since we've gotten a proper one here, with Lip. Not to be. Becky's just going to be taking the skies once more, at least off the rip. As Easy Han goes over to the Sombra. Lip going to be matching in that regard, but Fleta on the Tracer.
Okay, a vertical threat you need to be mindful of. Can get hacked out of the sky. Ground them a little bit, make it a little easier for sweeping Judy. Of course, Void can go up into the sky to challenge Becky if needed with those boosters, but more than likely going to be playing that sweeping defensive Judy. Low Sarshin.
Okay.
Try and
Becky
get there.
pushing his way up top. Drops back down here onto the low ground. Skirmishing where possible. Lip gets chunked out. You can see Becky moving forward, trying to get a contest onto Izayaki, trying to rip that Zenyatta apart. Hasn't quite been able to get the damage through yet, but still decent damage found as Void has to pull back. So already now into the marketplace go the Shanghai Dragons. Sticky bombs into the corner. The beam comes in. Izayaki going to be taken down. Great opening kill here for Becky. He's getting turned around a little bit here while Fleta tries to pressure him out on the flank. Overall, Becky is going to be perfectly safe. Fleta, however, close to that pulse bomb. 13% left to go. As Becky continues to just push completely unhindered right now. Beam comes in, threatens Void a bit, and that's just the cap. It's this time the Shanghai Dragons who can't go to the contest.
So hard for Void to be able to step up. If Sarshin gets rolling and Sarshin gets energy, Void has no mitigation against that. Also caught with his pants down a little bit. Back to trying to keep his backline alive.
Oh,
Becky being oppressive right now, but does shut down Easy Han.
Yeah, the help of Izayaki, they will go ahead and take it out. So a little bit too greedy to try to get the break onto Void's mech. Obviously would have, want to force that, because he's either going to have to pistol his way back in, or he's going to have to jump off the side of the map for a reset, buys you even more time. So it does become a little bit more costly for them, but plenty of time to work with here for the side of the Valiant now. With ults getting ready to come online, Easy Han going to be the first to the EMP. Lips staggering behind just a little bit.
You can see the utilization of it. Keep an eye on where they're stealthed and... okay, Nano Becky. What are your options there? They're not very good.
Baby off the rip. Early kill, but they need a little bit more than that, especially when Fleta gets into the back line, finds Langsa. 2 for 1. The dupe now coming out. He actually goes for duplicate onto Fleta.
Yeah, Becky Tracer back on the field.
Yeah,
Void eats up the
pulls
pulse bomb.
and Void just noms that one up. Izayaki now pops the Transcendence, takes out Sashin.
Ooh, well, hello.
And Void is just filling the kill feed, whether it's kills or eats. He comes up in a big way. Valiant out down to the back end, and for all their investments, Valiant have nothing really to show for it.
Looking at the resources from Valiant, they still got that Graviton Surge and the Rally to come into this one. Easy Hands EMP going to be a good option for them. A Nano Boost might be a saving grace here for Izayaki if he gets put under pressure. Void also might be able to make use of that as well as an option to just be an even stronger linebacker. Very easy to control space. Easy Hands found the route of ingress. Oh no, backline found!
And it is. The MP goes out.
Where's the support?
They're not,
Where's the
they're not
follow-up?
finding the kills. There's no dive. There's no nothing. I mean, obviously, Sashin's not really going to be able to join into that kind of position. He's playing Azaria. He can't just make his way onto the high ground. You need Becky to come swooping in out of the skies.
So
and try
late.
to scoop some of these kills. Instead, the EMP gets used, and they find absolutely nothing for it.
Becky was so late on that, Seth. When we cut back to the rooftop, you can see Becky just lingering around the outskirts of the fight. There's only so much damage Easy Han can do before the reaction comes in from the Shanghai Dragons. And if he had that extra focusing being damaged from Becky, maybe the sticky mines, you probably could have converted one of the kills from that and actually find value in the EMP. Very sloppy coordination from that execution.
Yeah, it just feels like things are kind of starting to fall apart a little bit here, but where they were looking great on that initial attack on point A, everything was very tight-knit, very well coordinated. But now, clearly, some disjointedness coming through from the side of the Valiant. Much like we saw from them on the first two maps. EMP now used by Ellipse.
That's how you
the kind of
dive!
follow-up that we're talking about. Sashin taken down, Lang's dead to the pulse bomb. They find Becky as well for their troubles. Ellipse scooping up a triple kill here now with Molly getting eliminated. And it's just a cycle, one after the other. And ult gets invested, the Shanghai Dragons win a fight.
Yeah, that's how you execute the EMP dive. Lips in the middle, and while the EMP is being casted, Void's flying in and micro-missiling down a target. Yes, Lip has just been found out by Lengza, probably to do with some greed of just trying to pick up some extra spawn charge. There's more than enough time for them to get back and defend this one, though.
1:45, Karn inching forward. Self-destruct at the ready. Nice anti-nade goes on to 2. Becky as well eliminated. Izayaki plays off the back of it, finds the kill, and then Sashin again left out to dry. Gets taken out. Lang's into the corner. There's just no way that he's going to be able to survive this one, you would expect. But okay, they'll just turn their sights on Molly instead, then deal with Langza. So Molly probably saying, thank you. You drew them right to me, and now I'm dead as well. And Easy Han trying to back cap, dead.
All right, well, that's going to be like 1 minute left. 2 fast fights, 1 slow one left available for the Valiant. This is rough. They're on the cusp of capping point B, so if they do win a decisive fight, they can probably get an extension from this, Seth. The map is far from over for them. Just need them to tidy up. Easy Han's got that EMP. Let's see Becky with the follow-up a lot faster. Quicker reactions. Get a conversion off the back of that pivotal ultimate. And you can get yourself an extension and move on to the final section of this map.
And likely going to need the EMP grab here just to make sure that Void can't go for the eat. Flood up onto the high ground, reading this one. There's the EMP. And I don't think he hit anybody.
What? Why?
No, he hit Void. Okay. Well, Becky goes for the dupe, has the Sombra, gets a hack here onto Void. Still not seeing anything though. Sashin playing off on the flank. EMP does come through. Grab still held. Sashin pushed into the corner. The nano goes through for Molly and his dying breath to try to keep him alive. Self-destruct now going to be invested as well. Grab gets the catch, but no kills. The Transcendence from Izayaki just keeps he and pretty much everybody else alive. Baby's the only casualty. The cleanup is there, and with 10 seconds left, no one's going to be able to touch this cart.
They found Easy Han.
Easy Han spotted, translocates away, and that should just be it.
Can't touch. Oh, gets in and dies.
No, his corpse will touch the cart, but unfortunately the corpse can't contest.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for them. I'm really confused by the decision to go for the duplication from Lip. Like, you're Becky, you are playing Echo. Unless all of your cooldowns are expended and you can't join in on that EMP dive, surely it's more beneficial for you to just whip out the focusing beam, burn down a target, then go for the duplication. By changing over to the Sombra, yeah, you can extend the hack a little bit, maybe use the machine pistol, but I feel like the overall DPS, which is what you're looking for off the back of the EMP, would have been stronger if you held on from the duplication. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They were under pressure or they did not have the cooldowns available immediately to follow up, so they were looking for some by fishing for the duplication. But yeah, once again, EMP setup left longing by the Valiant right now. They're really struggling to execute that combination.
puzzling, to say the least. I mean, I don't know. It feels like you see the clear setup, you go for the EMP, you make sure you get Void. The grab comes out from Sashin, but they just never really decided to pull the trigger on that combo. You build up, you get a hack onto Void, still don't see the grab, and then by the time it comes out, it's, you know, Izayaki sitting alone in it with the Transcendence rolling, saying, cool, like, I'm just big chilling in here. So now, again, it's a hold in front of point B, much like we saw in Kings Row. Shanghai Dragons, they have the win condition to close out the series right here, right now. Valiant, again, need to have an incredibly strong defense. Lip goes for it, gets one shot across, takes Becky, chunks him out, but now we'll just be swapping off. Even though I'd love to see him just stay with it, because why the hell not?
I mean, look, you could probably try an alternative solution right now. The Becky Echo.
The Becco?
Becco, if you would. Yep, there you go. Knew that one of us had to do it. Both of us ended up doing it. Really struggling to coordinate with the EMP. I really feel like if you had a Tracer instead, follow up with a dive, pulse pistols, consistent damage output, might be able to find something here a little bit more beneficial on that critical combo, because that has been a deciding factor in this series so far. How well can they execute off the back of EMPs, off the back of hacks? I get the payload into the escort, into the market already. That's fairly standard. Now the real fight begins.
Lip, quick hop away. Has the hack reveal there onto Molly. Oh, detected. And Easy Han passing like ships in the night. Lip jumps back over here. Doesn't have that much distance. Lobs the translocator. Tries to get into stealth. The overpower, but he comes through. They keep him alive. And now he's looking to try to take down Easy Han.
He's on the run.
He knows that he's low. Pushes the corner. Health packs have to come flying in from Langsa. They keep him alive. And Easy Han's going to translocate out. Narrowly escapes. Becky, however, taken down. Fleta, the Tracer on the ground, somehow finding that elimination. Easy Han again, getting chunked. Steadily gets top back up, but so much space being conceded right now to the Shanghai Dragons.
I think the way to get away with that is a hack and an Orb of Discord onto Becky. Just ground them a little bit, add the extra damage amplification. Finally, they've gone to collect the payload. I was worried it was wheeling back a little bit too far, but this is Shanghai Dragons playing beyond the scope of the point.
Oh, Nano onto Void. Sasha gets a Nano as well, but he gets slept. Pulse bomb.
Molly's gone.
And out finds Molly. The bubbles can't be there. He gets the back line torn asunder. The support's gone. Becky only able to get the Tracer at the very end, but that is the cap. And now it's 4.5 minutes if the Valiant want to be able to take this map.
Look, this is very likely the Shanghai Dragons should be able to finish this one off. You know, Becky keeps getting picked off here. Sashin's got a grab. Void capable of eating that. Sneaky little translocator spot for the TP back. Let's see an execution. This is what we needed you to do to get it over the line on point B. Use it to kill the momentum of the Shanghai Dragons. Start building your defense. EMP, Graviton Surge. Find the kills off the back end of it. Lip also getting in position for their own disruptive force. If they don't hit Izayaki with the EMP or finish him off, this Graviton Surge is worth nothing though. Izayaki can just drop the Transcendence. Fleta deleted. Okay. That's more like it, Valiant.
Yeah, that is exactly what we need to see. Just more of that. One ult, one pick, fight wins. Shanghai Dragons widely resetting. Still hanging back. Fleta's going to be quick to rejoin here. That is exactly the kind of team play that we need to be seeing if they're going to pull off this hold. Becky spotting multiple. As they're playing forward, hack goes out. They catch Void. Sashin's still holding on to this grab. We'll see when he decides to layer this in.
Saving it for next map at this rate. So hopefully he gets it off. EMP.
EMP goes through. They get Easy Han. Langsa still hacked for the moment. Rallying out. Going to be popped just to try to really keep them in this fight. Know that they're down a member. Grab goes in. Transcendence out. Izayaki keeps Bebe alive. Kill not going to be found. Becky now goes for the dupe, goes for the Ana, and Sashin's going to be taken down. Void does get antied, but he's got a self-destruct that he's going to let it loose, throws it up into the air. The pick breaks the dupe, and that is just no one touching the cart once more. What a way to finish things out. It's a 3-0 for the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Valiant seemingly not being able to bounce back after suffering the loss after being eliminated from playoff and play-in contention just yesterday. They get blown out of the water.
I'm fairly certain, now someone's going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Izayaki didn't have to use Transcendence on that offense until I think they held onto the Trans for quite a while, especially on point B anyway. There should have been a lot of insight given over that, hey, they probably have a the Transcendence available. So when we grab, we want to have some kind of shutdown mechanic. Maybe the anti-heal coming in from an anabionic grenade. Maybe a hack onto Izayaki so we can delete them immediately before that comes online. The Transcendence tool being up means that when Sarshin did eventually get the Graviton Surge out, saw a little bit of pressure applied to Bebe, but Izayaki just pushed the ultimate button, Transcendence comes on, and when you only have Sarshin being the damage dealer in that instance to try and burn through, or at least the only visible damage dealer in that instance, really tough to convert off the back of it. I feel as though, yeah, that's been a weak point of the Valiant this series, is unable to convert from critical ultimates just from a little bit of coordination that should be built up. But hey, I believe they've got a couple more matches left in this stage. They won't be making it through play-ins, they won't be making it through playoffs. Let's just try and end the season on a high. Dragons, though, performing well, pretty dominant in this series, a 3-0 performance. And here's your player of the match, it's Void.
Yep, very well deserved here from Void. Just big level up in performance. We were questioning, his presence on this team because seemingly Dragons were saying, you know what, we're just going to keep running Void no matter what. We think, this is very much an off-tank meta, even though we have seen a decent amount of Winston. They've been pushing him. They've been pushing this D.Va. And initially, it was not working. The coordination, the cohesion was completely missing from the side of Shanghai Dragons, but this was... these last two series from the Shanghai Dragons that they played in have been a return to form for Void and for the team overall. Going over to the Zarya, a treat to watch. The guy has been impeccable at that pick for the longest time. This little sequence of events as well was just great as he just goes ahead and tears everybody apart. But yeah, very much finding his footing. Shanghai Dragons able to perfectly play around Void. Void able to perfectly play around the rest of them. And yeah, he makes the D.Va look incredibly strong here once again. Stats might not be the flashiest thing in the world to take a look at, but this doesn't include the Zarya performance where he was having a very strong showing on King's Row, but he just looks so damn strong the whole series throughout.
Yeah, it doesn't need to have the pop-off performance when it comes to the stat line. Like you said, splitting time between D.Va and Zarya splits down the overall resources. You could just visibly see the impact Void was having on this team, and definitely was one of the keys to success of the Shanghai Dragons today. But there you go. Oh, that makes a change, actually, Seth. We've had a support win player of the match. We've had a tank win player of the match. Usually, it just goes to the damage dealer, so that's a nice change up from what we usually see. No doubt, we'll probably have a damage dealer in the next series that's coming up, because we've got Fusion versus Hunters coming up soon.
Very true. We'll have to just, see who it goes to. If it is going to be a damage dealer, is it going to be Zastam in 3? Is it going to be Carpe? No, we're definitely not going to see Carpe. I don't think that's going to happen. I haven't seen him in a good long while. But, of course, with Leave and Jinmu also in the mix, it could be a decent shout for any of those players, depending on who shows up. But we will go to a quick little break. We'll come back. We'll chat a little bit more about this series, set the stage for the next one, and then we'll carry on our merry way. This is a hell of a lot faster of an evening than I was anticipating. We're only just 2 hours over now. We've got both 2 series out of the way with 1 more left to go. So we'll have a quick little break. We'll come back and chat, and then we'll get ready for the Fusion versus the Chengdu Hunters. The Orange Chicken Bowl is coming up next, so don't go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
And welcome back. It's time for our game break here after our second series. Looks like a day of 3 Overwatch so far. We'll have to see if Chengdu Hunters versus Fusion can deliver for us. But this series here, not exactly what was anticipated. We know that the Shanghai Dragons have been on the up and up, but so have the Valiant. So seeing them get blown out of the water like this, it felt like we went back to last year, this matchup. This was not a very close affair whatsoever.
No, and I think the Dragons were playing really well. They were delivering on all the key beats that they needed to. I think it was more so an unusual level of sloppiness from the Valiant today. I think this is more of a Valiant loss than a Dragons won, to be honest. I think there was many opportunities where the Valiant could have come back into it. I'm not going to rail too much harder on them, and I'll focus on the Dragons' success here. Void, I mean, he got player of the match, evident enough. Both the D.Va and the Zarya performances were fantastic as well. I think Marvel's performance in the first map, who subbed out for Sarshin, not really the problem with the team. I think his Winston was serviceable. Doomfist even managed to find a clutch pick onto Fleder's Tracer. Occasionally when we moved over to Mecha... We set the tempo for how this was going to go.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of not touching points and carts and things like that. Some of them, and I'd say the majority of them, were actually forced by the hands of Shanghai Dragons just not enabling the Valiant to get into position. But there was that one or two in there that was a little bit puzzling, a little bit of a head scratcher from the Valiant. But it was just a very well-piloted series from the side of the Shanghai Dragons. Void flipping back over, showing the Zarya after playing so much D.Va as of late, just continues to look absolutely incredible on that pick. Not a day has gone by since this guy made a name for himself on that Zarya. And yeah, he continues to excel. Great performance from him. Very well-deserved player of the match. And just a quick series, I guess, that if you're a Valiant fan or if you're the Valiant themselves, they probably just would like to forget about it and focus up for the few remaining sets that they do have before their year is over.
Yeah, so Valiant, like I said, they're not really fighting for anything other than pride at the moment, so they will be able to have other opportunities to raise their head quite highly. Shanghai Dragons, they're trailing behind the Seoul Dynasty in the overall standings at the moment after a week start in the Countdown Cup. However, they are, of course, already secure for playoffs, so they're not really to worry about it. So just to remind you, the 3 teams that have secured their positions in playoffs already will not have to go through play-ins. Seoul Dynasty, Shanghai Dragons, Philadelphia Fusion, who are going to be up next, actually, against the Chengdu Hunters. And they're obviously, one of the funniest things I saw, Seth, I went onto Twitter after the first series of the day, and lo and behold, it's not just the Charge celebrating, it's the Philadelphia Fusion, because that victory, that decimation of the Spark is what clinched them that position in the playoffs where they don't have to go through play. And so you saw the Fusion team interacting with the Charge team on Twitter going, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Lots of love hearts and emojis. Because, yeah, it was a big win for Fusion today, and they didn't even have to step onto the server.
Yeah, I mean, you take the W's where you can, that's for damn sure. But the Fusion, they're going to be looking for another one here, because they're not a team, like most of the teams that we have here in the region, of course, to rest on their laurels. They're not going to be like, okay, you know what, we're in playoffs, let's just coast. Who cares if we lose this series versus Chengdu? No, they want to be victorious on the other side of this orange chicken bowl, as we like to call it, between these two squads. And we'll see if they're going to be able to get it done, because Fusion and Chengdu Hunters both have had their ups and downs throughout this season. So we'll see who's going to be able to come out on top, who's going to be able to win that first map, and what those maps are when we come back for the break. So we'll get the teams loaded up ready in the lobby. You guys just sit tight and wait for a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. It didn't take very long at all. Now did it. There we go. It's time to go into our final series of the evening. Fusion versus the Chengdu Hunters. This one, not much to play for because both teams are locked into their positions. Fusion currently locked into playoffs. Chengdu Hunters locked in for play-ins. But both teams are still going to be hungry for that win. They want to just, like we said, play for pride, play for your fandom, and try to walk away victorious in this Orange Chicken Bowl. So one Orange team will be victorious at the end of it all. The other one's going to be left bloodied and bruised on the floor.
Yeah, different shades of orange, only just probably a couple of hex code values off, but of course, it's still going to be competitive all the same. Philadelphia Fusion, like I said, riding a high at the moment. Just overall, I guess this team's had a fantastic season so far. I think their additions, the rookies they brought into it, the likes of Zest and MN3, who have become mainstay starters of the roster, have really found their own over the course of an entire year. Expect them to get a lot of play time for the rest of the season as well, because they really are delivering for the Fusion lineup and brought a breath of fresh air. Hopefully, getting into the playoffs enables them to have a good benchmark of where they can challenge a little bit further and make deeper runs in the tournament. Fusion fans have been longing for success when it comes to postseason. We're finally going to be able to grab more hints of that, I feel. Potentially from this roster, they can just somehow manage to beat the Shanghai Dragons and the Seoul Dynasty and any other North American team that stands in their way, which might be a bit of an ask, but stocks are high on them right now, I feel.
Sure, I think stocks can be high on both of these teams at any given moment, but they can also go crashing through the floor and you can lose your life savings in the blink of an eye. Both of these teams have competed with the best in the region. They have looked absolutely incredible at twists and turns, but then they turn around, they play another series, and they completely bottom out, much like we saw from Hangzhou Spark earlier today. Beats this whole dynasty, get blown out of the water 0-3. So it can happen to either side. We'll see if it happens to either of them today. Hopefully not. Hopefully we have a somewhat competitive series to close out the evening. But first, before we get into the action, of course, let's meet our team, starting with the Philadelphia Fusion.
Are you ready for the show?
Carpe again!
And MN3 is going absolutely nuclear! Zest dashes and instantly finds 3 kills.
Charge of his team application matrix as well, but Fury, excellent gravitic flood.
Spark had the numbers, but Bellisry has the space, the mines, the double kill!
Shot through Aim God. He's looking for the elimination. He goes on the offensive, but Aim God shuts him down. Everybody really low inside of the valley. Nixa gets 2 for himself. Okay. And here they are, your starting 5. Of course, just given the off-take meta, we will be seeing a lot more of Fury. Bellisry, he's shown up from time to time during this this qualifier stage, but widely it has been the Fury show. And with D.Va continuing to rise in stunk value, Fury, definitely a good person to have on your roster.
Yeah, showing their value. We've already sung the praises of MN3 and Zest, but Aim God and Fixer have definitely been fantastic additions to the lineup as well. This Fusion roster has been great, and I promise you we will talk about the Hunters in a second. They'll be coming up shortly. We'll get the starting lineup because, like Seth said, both the teams can be competitive. We can have a good series to close it out at the end here. Players like Leave and Jinmu have always had phenomenal performances as it is, and yeah, I'll be curious to see what the tank lineup they'll roll out with. But here they are, starting with Daisy today. Okay. And you got Monk and Nisha in the roll-up as well. Yeah, I think that this map. Yeah, like I said, I'm with you, Seth. I'm hoping that this goes the distance. I'm hoping that we do get a 5-mapper to close it out, because it would be a little bit of a fast day. Too quick for me, actually, if we went for a 9-0 day.
Yeah, we might not get 15 maps, but I could settle for 11. That would be okay with me, I suppose. Better than having just 9. So we'll see if these teams are going to be up to task. Daisy starting, it's not something that we've seen too much as of late. We have often seen Gaga being the one to play, so I'm curious to see what the map set is going to be looking like. Because, you know, it could be, it'll be interesting to see. Because if it's something like Ilios is something where we have seen a hell of a lot of Winston play. So we'll have to see exactly what this is going to look like as we get ready to go in.
Well, I'll give you a spoiler, Seth. Map number 1 is in fact going to be Ilios. It's Ilios, yeah. We've had 2 Busans. We won't have a third. Elios going to kick things off for us. Actually, we might get a third. Busan's going to be map number 5 if it goes that distance, if it goes that far and plays into the script we've laid out. But as you can see, the full maps there: Elios, Paraíso, Route 66, New Queen Street, and Busan. But we haven't gone past an escort map today, Seth. We've not seen a push, which I know would make Avril very happy if he was here.
Well, if we do get to push, Chengdu Hunters better hope that they have a lead, because New Queen Street, while the Chengdu Hunters have been impeccable at Coliseo, New Queen Street not been a map that's too kind to them, whereas for the side of the Philly Fusion, New Queen Street has been their stomping ground when it comes down to push. They have been very, very strong on that map, so we'll see what happens, and if we can even get there to begin with, but we will just go ahead and keep our fingers crossed.
Starting things off on, well, you talked about how Winston might be an option for these two teams, but we are having hovered, of course, the D.Va and the Zarya, which have been the dominant tank choices in the meta so far.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Support line seems fairly consistent as well. TPs to get people out. Where's the flex? What are we doing? Tracer versus Tracer, so mirror composition to kick things off on the first round.
Yep, mirrored comps, and it's going to be a little bit more of a, a closer look at Daisy on this D.Va. Not something that we've seen a ton of. Sometimes does go for that Zarya. Leave, making battle against Zest. Right here off the rip, takes a hell of a lot of damage. Receives some healing, though. He should just going to go ahead and say thank you very much. Try to get up towards that nano boost. It's already a third of the way. Point unlocked.
Presence for Hunters.
Yeah, they're inching their way forward here. Good damage in. Daisy gets antied out. That's going to be a break on the back. Huge opening now for Fusion to play off the back of. MN3 being able to scoop that as well. Way out in the front towards the EMP. Point finally going to be conceded over. Chengdu Hunters know that they cannot continue to play forward like that. Wrap around the back. Get the catch coming through. Anti goes out. Nisha keeps himself alive.
Daisy down.
Zest continues to play forward, but yeah, Daisy was eliminated by Fury. That buys even more time on the percentage gain here for the side of the Fusion, where it seems like we have a little bit of a bug on the percentage ticker, so I'm not quite sure where we're at. There we go.
We're at 20%. 20%. There you go. But another takedown there for Leave, so it's going to keep climbing up for the Philadelphia Fusion. Hunters struggling to find a way in here. Pulse Bomb sitting online for Zest. I think Monk might be the target of that one in a second. Please be careful.
Nisha, either one would be a good.
Oh, they're going for Daisy.
Oh, he's just going to get both. Pulse Bomb on Nisha, follows up with the Pulse Pistols on the Monk, and yeah, that is just incredibly well played here from Zest. Sees that Daisy is very low, but won't quite be able to finish him off. Daisy, of course, is saying, you know what, I'm not going to go into the dropship. I'm going to let you heal off of me. But I don't know where Jinmu was, but I know where he is now, and that's waiting to respawn.
Yeah, bit staggered, bit slow for Chengdu Hunters. 60% and climbing at this point for the Fusion, so not completely final fight territory, but they're getting close. Spotted out. We'll translocate to safety. EMP for MN3. I want to see what their dive looks like. How's the follow-up from Zest? They're not even needed.
What is happening? He's not even hacked.
I'll tell you what's happening.
Just owning him in the 1v1.
Ah, well, you say 1v1, but I did see Aim God sneak damage. Daisy, hacked up. Comes an ult battery. Monk goes low, but still stays alive. Transcendence forced.
Yeah, Trans to go ahead and try to escort them forward. Jinmu uses the EMP, but kills so far not going to be found. Answering EMP comes out, and instantly 2 people disappear. It's the damage dealers on the side of the Chengdu Hunters. 93% ticking up. Daisy low, hacked. The mech about to be broken. Another Pulse Bomb. The stick was there. It doesn't matter. The break on the mech comes through. It's an extended team kill, and 100% to 0 on Well to kick things off.
I don't think anyone died.
Okay, well, Zest just died.
Well, I think with 1 death, and it was a suicide. Well, I will need someone to check the stat line on that one, but I can't remember seeing the Chengdu Hunters have a kill.
I think that you may be correct.
Oh,
I think they got
that's
completely
rough.
shut out.
That is a rough way to start a series, my friend.
That it is. But that's why it's control, and you get multiple rounds to try to play through. So, just got to come back into this one stronger as we shift to Lighthouse. And if that doesn't happen, then I think the stage is set for another one-sided affair.
Okay, well, hopefully we don't see it go that way, and this one's a little bit more competitive.
I mean, one of the
really
things
struggle
to
to
point
take
out,
control.
Trader, is that Daisy, that whole round, never built up for his immortality field.
Oh,
Never
Nisha's
built up
already
to
dead.
have his self-destruct. He just couldn't quite get there. I think he made it to about 70%. Nisha picked off the rip. Aim God living up to his name.
Okay, they're keeping a close eye on Daisy. Volleys across the way. None of the orbs connect from both of the Zenyatas. Point presence given over to the Philadelphia Fusion. Fury's already there. That's quite fairly isolated. Daisy, he can't really contest that one, and he's going to get punished for it quite aggressively.
And he moves in. He's trying to get Fury, but the first healing out picks up. It's just way too much. Daisy's still hovering on low HP. Hack now in from MN3. Takes away the ability to use that D-Matrix. He's going to try to slide up onto the high ground. Some opportunity here for Nisha, who is surging up towards that nano boost, much like Fixa. Pretty much neck and neck between the two Hondas for now. Actually, both support on either side. Pretty much just completely even, but Fusion still holding. Oh man, the casual lobbing from Zest. He gets the stick. I mean, he makes the pulse bomb look like it's the magnetic grenade from Cassidy. It just latches on.
There's a fadeaway. Zest and Fury coming up big there. Just a clearance of the board. 40% in climbing for the Fusion. Still, no final blows. No final blows for the Hunters yet, Seth. This is rough.
Still eluding them. 50% now for the side of the Fusion. We're looking for back-to-back 100-0s, and if they can do it without dying even once on either round, that is absolutely insane. Hack attempt from MN3, not going to find anything. Does get spy checked there by Daisy. Seems like he should be able to manage to grab a self-destruct in this round. Jinmu going low. EMP still held. Needs to get healed back up. Brief second point contest. Daisy now
gonna lose mech.
has to try to retreat. Gets the D-Matrix back up in time. Keeps himself protected. But MN3, he's going on the hunt. Just in front of him. The supports.
Great reaction.
No, the Transcendence does come in, and there's the first kill. Fixa going to be taken down. Daisy finds the elimination while he's nanoed up. Both support ultimates invested here from the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Aim God now going to be antied out. Fury just sitting on the point, trying to deny this flip from coming through. His leave goes low, but Monk is there to save his life, taking down Zest. So another kill found. Self-destruct burned by Fury. He's continuing to extend this point presence. The flip comes in the very last second here, just before it would have gone into overtime. Chengdu Hunters
not
at long last in control.
Yeah, not the complete shutout we were staring down the barrel of at the moment, Seth, but 97% is a very difficult position for Chengdu Hunters to be in. They lose that fight, they lose control of the payload, they're probably not going to get another attempt to defend it.
Okay, EMP in the back line. Jinmu almost gives his life for that. Goes out at 8 HP before he's able to translocate out. Was a big EMP, but the follow-up just was not there. He was hoping that he was just going to be able to dump the ult, get a solo kill, buy that much more time, get that much more percentage gain on the point. Not to be.
Yeah, the thing is, though, the anti-nade did come in and find free as well, so he did have the wrong kind of support. He needed a little bit of damage to help him convert some of those kills.
Yeah.
His team was aware of it. Oh, Aim God's back on the board.
There he is. Nanoed up. Turns the sights now over to Daisy. Gets the kick. There's the self-destruct. So Baby Diva taken down. Zest somehow gonna get taken out by the self-destruct. A bit of a head scratcher there, but the flip is there all the same.
No one can touch.
Just get forced out. Chengdu Hunter Zone needs somebody to play forward onto the point. Leave. Nope, it's too late. It's too late.
Every time.
What is in the water today? What's happened?
Every single match today, we have seen an instance where someone could touch when they did not. The chances of the Hunters actually being able to reclaim that and turn it round and still win the round out, very slim. We'll grant them that. But there was potential to extend that fight and maybe see what they could get there. We just didn't have the confidence in, I believe it was Leave who was playing on the Tracer, to just step forward there. Maybe didn't have the dash cooldowns. It's rough, but it's a frustrating sight to see when the Eastern teams continue to struggle to touch the objective sometimes.
Yep. Well, this is just once again feeling like familiar territory. I'm having deja vu series after series after series. But there you have it. Philly Fusion very dominant. A little bit more of a showing from the Chengdu Hunters in the second round, but Well was a complete wash, 100-0, blown out of the water. Didn't even suffer that many deaths throughout the entire map. So Chengdu Hunters, tall order for them to try to bounce back after that one. Need to make it happen though. It's going to be Paraiso coming up next as we do get ready to go into our hybrid map. So we'll see if the Chengdu Hunters can find some stability or if it's going to be much more of the same this whole evening through. Either way, we'll be back in a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. One map out of the way, and things continue to trend in a similar fashion for our first two series. Fusion, they come out swinging. They take the first round of Ilios with relative ease. Some more signs of life from the Chengdu Hunters over on Lighthouse, but then, I mean, I agree. I think that they inevitably would have lost the round, but we didn't even get to see them try to play it out through OT. No one got the touch. Leave was far too late trying to dash forward to extend the overtime, so things clearly a little bit off for the Chengdu Hunters at the very beginning. Let's see if they can find some stability as we go into our second map.
Yeah, and then we had a substitution, Gaga coming in for Daisy, so this is probably the usual roster we'd expect to see roll out from the Hunters for the rest of the series. Maybe that provides a huge difference. I don't necessarily think the tank lineup was necessarily to blame in that first map. Once again, probably just a preference thing as we head on to different map archetypes. As we highlight at the top of the series, next destination, Paraíso. It's another hybrid map, and yeah, we'll see how this plays out, but I think one of the most dominant control maps we've seen in a very long time, Seth. You know, we were talking about how we think Well was deathless beyond Zest jumping into the pit at the end by himself under no duress whatsoever. When we came around to Lighthouse, a little bit more competitive, but still felt like Fusion didn't really lose control of that series at all so far. So let's see if the Chengdu Hunters can bring new life to them in map number 2, as we're about to load into that shortly.
Well, here we go. Paraíso to see if it could be the staging ground for a turnaround so that we can actually have a competitive series. That's all I'm asking for. I know that we've been doing a lot of bowling here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I know that Trid and myself, we've been sounding like we are probably pretty pissed off. But no, we're not pissed at the teams. We're just pissed that I'm not seeing competitive Overwatch. And that's what we've been having this entire way through the Countdown Cup qualifier. We're getting towards the end of the season. I want to see tight-knit games. I want 15 maps in one evening. I don't want to see teams get blown out of the water. So please, Chengdu Hunters, just give me something to work with. You're my last hope.
It's the last hope for today anyway, because our first two series, I mean, I wish we could go back and do those differently, but we can't. So we're living in the present. It all comes down to the Hunters to kind of rectify what we've been seeing so far. They're on the defense first. Got Leave on the Sojourn, Gaga playing the Winston. Philadelphia Fusion could roll out with a similar composition, but I think they're going to keep on to it, because if there was going to be an Ashe being played by Fusion, I have a feeling MN3 would be doing that. So no doubt Zest will probably be going over the Tracer, I believe, to run out on this map. But quick pick for a Widow. Up first.
Quick peek. Okay, shot goes over towards Gaga, not going to get the hit. Swap over.
There you go.
It's going to be Zest over to the Genji now. Leave on the Sojourn. Let's see if he can find some more impact compared to the Tracer, which was kind of getting manhandled on Ilios.
Very separated team. Everyone's playing around terrain quite well at the moment. First aggressive move by Furies goes up to the high ground, trying to challenge Gaga, who's used those jump pads, and he's got nothing left. Zest takes him out of the sky.
Well, first blood found. Zest claims it. Already a third of the way towards the Dragon Blade. Leaves barely gotten to shoot at anybody yet. They pull back,
full retreat,
retreating and scattering around the point. Fury playing forward. Jinmu watching the flank. He's going to rotate around the back. He might be able to get on top of the Fusion supports here.
And that's what he wants.
Just wait and see. One tick gained so far. Gaga back. Aim God antied out. Monk is going to be the one who actually finishes him off. Drops down, joins in with the rest of the team, and they cannot pursue to actually find the elimination. Zest now in danger of going down. He's got no HP to work with. Looks like he finds a health pack somewhere off screen, while Gaga will be delivered unto death once more by Fury, but it's the Chengdu Hunt who's able to occupy the point once more and stop the ticks from coming through any further. Monk snipes another target, but a quick kill for him.
Zen-like state for them, able to calm themselves and calm the nerves, able to find the shots ring true and win out there, even taking out Aim God earlier on in the fight. I was really concerned when I called out Monk. I saw him being isolated by Zest, but he was able to jump down to the safety of Nisha on the Brigitte and provide that added safety net and clearance for them, which keeps them alive and helps turn the fight around for the Chengdu Hunters. The third was accrued on the map, so that will be their jumping off point next time they touch the point. They still have a long way to go if they're going to cap point A and extend the map.
Okay, Nano's out. Zest, however,
Zest
taking down Leave. Gets a headshot.
No damage.
Just like he is. That's going to be the damage dealers now eliminated. The Nano not going to lead to anything here from Fury. Nothing gained. Gets the push away there onto Jinmu for a brief little moment, but he knows that this is just an inevitability. Gets taken down. Looks to go off the side of the map here for the quick little reset, but here comes the bullying. Yeah, I mean, hands off the keyboard. Can't say I blame you, Fury. They wait for him to wake up. They finish him with the ante. That's a minute and 35 seconds now left for Fusion on this attack.
Yeah, and look at the ultimate resource they have is that self-destruct online. They're about to get Transcendence in the Blade. They won't have the Nano Boost available unless this fight gets elongated. Chengdu Hunters, meanwhile, Overclock, Pulse Bomb, Nano Boost, the Rally. This is the dive. This is the last fight. It's pretty much done for the Hunters. Like, they're pretty much going to take this one.
Hell of a lot to work with. Fusion need to play catch-up here. Getting that
to
Blade
trade up
online is going to be a big one for them. So they don't have that Transcendence to try to keep everybody alive through it. Jinmu diving into the back doesn't let the Pulse Bomb go. He's a good, nasty hit of damage, and now he's in danger of dying. Barely manages to make it away from Fury in time.
This is their final fight. They need to get that Blade online. They're not going to have the Nano Boost for it. They're running out of time here, Seth, and he's still not traded up. This is going to be an absolute nightmare for them. Pulse Bomb went out. There's the EMP.
Okay.
EMP. They found Leave.
Yeah, huge target found, but MN3 still going to get traded. Looks like he didn't have the translocator set up to try to exit. Zest now Blade pulled. Here comes the Primal. Great sleep from Fixit. Does put the monkey down on the floor, but he gets woken up. But he manages to fight back. Transcendence rolling in. God trying to keep everybody else in this fight, but now he's taken down. Gaga fighting them both. Leaps over to the side. Monk gets the snipe onto Zest, and 50.4% established off the rip. Seems like it's going to be as good as it gets. Fusion very much in danger of getting full health unless we see something miraculous happen in these next 10 seconds.
Oh my god, that was so unfortunate. Engod moving around too much with the Transcendence. Fixer got out of LOS in that door frame, and Gaga was able to get the Goomba Stomp to finish him off. Who's going to touch? Zest got to do it. Zest touches.
He manages to make it happen. Not just going to see the round end right here, right now. So Zest does force out the OT. Overclock at the ready, the only ult. Now the Nano is going to be there for Fixa as well. Goes over to Fury, who's now sent swapped over onto the Doomfist, but Zest instantly bodied by the Overclock. He gets a 2-for-1 special. 1 shot, 2 kills. Fixa and Aim God. They get collided, I do believe. And that will be the full hold coming through from the Chengdu Hunters. We saw at the very beginning, we didn't really make a note of it. That stat at the bottom of the screen saying the Chengdu Hunters have not lost a series to Fusion yet this year, and this is a great way to answer back.
Woo! Okay. Great performance there from the Chengdu Hunters. Massive turnaround to kick things off. Came to life a little bit at the end there, Fusion, but made a little mistake with LOS and losing fights and really weren't able to trade up against the economy that Hunters built for themselves. Then Leave goes online and just hit some ridiculous shots with the Overclock. 2-for-1 specials as you called in, also getting a highly mobile Zest on the Tracer to be caught out as well. Once you do the Panic Pit switch over to Doomfist, if you don't get the assassination, don't get the quick burst, you're probably not going to walk away with the map. 50.4% on the board is a benchmark that the Fusion are going to have to defend against. One wrong fight by the Fusion, one disastrous fight that they lose, that's enough time for Hunters to claim it and make that time. Because they're going to be coming back with those panic picks like we always see. And at that point, I think the map's over and we're going to end up with a tied series. And Seth, we will be denied another free Overwatch, which is really what we're looking for here today.
Yes, very much so. Leave. We kind of saw him yawning a little bit on cam after that first map, but it seems like he's fully woken up, rubbed his eyes, maybe sipped a little coffee or an energy drink perhaps, and is very much looking awake, at least when it comes down to the Sojourn play. Some beautiful shots throughout that to really help deliver that full hold. Now, Fusion looking for the fuller hold. They want to walk away from this 2-0 up.
Okay.
Jinmu already
Baby
getting
camp
caught.
in the pack.
Great catch. A good start. That's going to buy them 30 seconds.
Back up to the high ground now. Full reset here coming in for the Fusion. Just able to play around the terrain still. Gargoyle's going to stay on the Winston. Can go up to the high ground to challenge Fury, but that Orb Discord, he's not going to be able to get the Aim God who's right at the back. So Discord gets thrown on the Winston. Shield gets broken. Lots of damage to burst him down. Should it not be handled correctly.
Zest playing so far forward. Nisha antied, but the kill not found. Would have been a major pick for them. Monk trying to make his way up the staircase, but he's got nowhere to go. Gets caught. The pulse bomb finishes him off. Zest looking good here once more. Back over onto the Tracer. Whip shot pushes right back up onto the high ground, actually.
How is Aim God there? Why is Aim God there?
I couldn't tell you. Fixa will find Nisha, so it's not going to be without cost, but the slow run back for Aim God is going to be potentially brutal here. Fixa with his work cut out for him.
I can't believe that Aim God was just like right in the point blank range of a Winston. He had safety from the back where he was. He probably regrouped to avoid getting assassinated on the back line, but once he's in Gargar's face, it's really easy through the cleave damage of the Tesla cannon to find him as well. Aim God goes down, does get back to the point, lost a lot of space. Zest goes down as well. Not looking good for the Fusion.
Oh, the stick! Okay. That's going to be the Nano in response, actually, to go ahead and try to keep him alive, but now they're just going to hold die on the back end. Jinmu, Gaga get in there. They find the eliminations. EMP is massive. There is a self-destruct, but it is going to find absolutely nothing. And with those cleared out, Gaga will go ahead and pop the Primal in celebration. Jinmu tries to get the EMP catch onto Zest. He will not. And that will be the cap. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have a series at long last on our hands. Tied up 1-1. Chengdu Hunters take the Paraiso in very swift fashion to go ahead and make this 1-1. I'm watching back the collat shot.
Yeah, you want to double check to make sure it was accurate?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a collat.
Double headshot collat from Leave to go ahead and really put that attack in the dirt. That's Paraiso very swiftly dealt with here by the Chengdu Hunters who, like I said, seem to have woken up. So no 3 Overwatch to round out the evening. We will at least be getting to push. Again, could be mildly concerning given that it is New Queen Street and the proficiency that Fusion show on that map, but the Chengdu Hunters can come in and win map number 3, and they're going to be in a decent spot.
Imagine, Seth. Imagine if the series earlier today didn't go the way it went and Spark ended up coming out with a win against the Charge. They would be in a position right now where they would have, imagine the emotions they would have gone through. They would have watched the first map and gone, oh, Jesus Christ, we're not getting the playoffs. Fusion, they're just going to stomp Chengdu Hunters. We get to map 2, Chengdu Hunters get it, and all of a sudden, now it's looking a little bit dicey. I mean, look, they're no longer the masters of their fate. We just have to watch Fusion in a confirmed position, but Spark going to be kicking themselves even more if Fusion drop the ball here in this series.
Yep. Looking a bit dicey, because it seems like he's going to be stepping back in, but we'll confirm that after the break, and then we'll have Route 66, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. Let's carry on our merry ways. We are currently tied up 1-1. Paraíso went the way of the Chengdu Hunters, and now we have a tied-up series, which means no 3 Overwatch to close out the evening. We will at least have 4 maps played. Coming up next, it's going to be Route 66 for our escort map to see who is going to be able to take a lead, move up to match point, and potentially close it out from there.
Yeah, Daisy's coming back in as well, as we already mentioned before we jumped into the break. Gaga out, Daisy in. So probably will be moving away from the Winston flavor that the Hunters tried to roll out with and actually found a lot of success with. But I think that's more about Lee being able to play Sojourn more so than anything else. I think just being able to get those quick assassinations. And Aim God, work on your placement a little bit, bud. I don't want you point blank range in the front of a Winston again. Not very good. Not very good.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Fusion, they'll be defending first. It's up for the Chengdu Hunters to go on the offense. And yeah, Route 66 escort map type. We already know we're getting a map 4 for the first time. We are going to see push today, Seth, at least. So yeah, we've broken the threshold.
That we have. And again, you know, I still do worry a little bit for the Chengdu Hunters in that regard, just given which push map it is. Had the roles been reversed, we'd be saying the same exact thing for the Fusion's sake, given that the Chengdu Hunters are absolutely incredible on Coliseum. We'll have to just wait and see, though, what happens, and also who's going to be walking into that push map with the lead, as Route 66 is going to determine who's at that match point spot. So we'll see what happens as we jump into game, see if they've got any surprises for us, but something tells me that probably not. It could just be some more Diva v Diva action, honestly.
I have a feeling that's probably what we're going to see, to be honest. A little bit more Diva from Fury and Diva from Dicey. As we move on. Now, what's the rollout from Chengdu Hunters? It'd be very telling. Ooh, Dicey Zarya? That works too.
All right. I mean, they are first on the defense here for the Fusion. Fury will be committing to this Zarya. It seems he's sitting all the way back in the spawn room still.
He's thinking about it. Thinking about it. Pulse champ, waiting.
Assessing options.
There you go, Diva.
And okay, it's going to be the Diva v Diva in the end, as Dicey's already
I got baited.
So. Okay.
Yeah, I got baited.
Got there in the end, but I like some of the other stuff that we're seeing right now from the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Jinmu potentially bringing out the Genji. Leave with that Sojourn, which was looking incredible just a moment ago on Paraiso. Seems like Dicey, okay, he's going to opt away from that Diva. Maybe once he sees that Fury is piloting it, he'll change it up, but seems like he's just going to go ahead and push out the gate with it. Wants to be able to offer up these bubbles as Jinmu goes diving into the back lines, I suppose.
Yeah, let's see how they go. MM3 just lingering behind at the moment, getting all the recon. Hack onto Nisha, but does not get an opportunity to deal any damage off the back of that. Immediately spotted out by Monk and forced away.
Yeah, nothing really going to be gained there. Hack will expire. Nisha still perfectly safe. Cart now advancing past the first corner. Fury will drop down to the low ground. Swing around the back of the billboard. Jinmu spotting a couple people. Sends out some right clicks and starting to just farm up the blade off the back side of the here.
Oh, okay. Dicey gets yeeted up and slapped at the same time.
All right. Just brought up onto the high ground. Leave. Gets a headshot there on his Zest. Went down. Low HP, but the heals do come through from Nisha and Monk. They keep him alive. Big opening here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Hack does come through. Rail shot not going to connect. MN3 just trying to harass him off this position, but Cart is still going to be occupied by the Chengdu Hunters. They will keep advancing forward. Fury has to wait for the rest of the team to join in before he really pushes out to contest this. A lot of distance being given up.
Yeah, they're right on the last hurdle of point A at this point. They can just reemerge from the billboard and contest quite safely. Monk's very far back in the high ground position, but there's a direct path from the entry. Jinmu Blade.
Yeah, built up very quickly, just a minute and a half to get the Blade online. Fury, however, gets himself into the back line, finds Monk and Nisha. So the Blade, well, gets one. It's not going to deliver them this cap onto point A. So still in with a shout on the Fusion. They try to go for this hold. Half the time bank about to be drained down. The Blade a bit of a whoop, and that's just going to be the Cart now rolling back. And they didn't, I mean, they use a nano, and that's about it. So I think you take those if you're the Philly Fusion.
Yeah, it's a great position for them to be in, to put the brakes on it. You said they've already given up a lot of point A, so being able to really dig their heels in a bit here and burn this time back is going to be super important for the success of this map.
Dash out from Jinmu, nearly goes down. Just the neutral damage. That's going to be 4 ults, basically versus 4. If Leaf can get this overclock online to match with everybody else. Hell of a lot of firepower, but of course, with Fury being on the Diva, there's always a chance that once Dicey does get this grab online. Jinmu gets the nano boost, jumps up over the top on top of the girls, and is trying to farm for the Blade, but everybody just deals with him so swiftly. Shut him down with relative ease.
1 minute 20 remaining. We have Dicey's grab. Oh, they get D-Mech as well. That's big. Here's an opportunity to use it, but they're going to remech fast because Fury had the self-destruct available. Aim goes down Nisha.
Yeah, and AimGod gets a kill. Zest does get slept. Lead pushes up onto the high ground, finds that elimination. Nade comes down. AimGod now going to be helping the Transcendence, trying to keep everybody alive.
Poor timing.
And that is going to last for the majority
unfortunate
of that grab. Now the grab is gone. They get themselves right back over to the cart. They keep it contested. 1.66 meters away with 54 seconds remaining. Fury,
oh, they
Nanos,
used the EMP
once
when
more.
this expires.
Transcendence out from Nisha. Mega Pack going to be grabbed. Fury stays alive. AimGod trying to hold the cart here alongside Fixa. They managed to do so. They take down Daisy. The front line broken down once more. Fury antied out, but he pulls away, and he manages to stay safe.
30 seconds left. We got that EMP from MN3. Jinmu's gone down as well. Shanghai Dragons had such a strong start on the map set, but I think they've just lost all the gas in the tank at the end of point A. They're going to need a miracle to shut down the MN3 EMP. If that lands on the support line, they can follow up correctly. It's over for the Hunters' run.
There's still a chance, but they need this rail from Leave to hit somebody. The EMP goes out, manages to catch on a 4. Monk, Nisha instantly dealt with. Daisy now dead as well. And I think that is it. The nail in the coffin as Fury scoops up 2 of the kills. Jinmu sent kiting back over towards the diner. AimGod making sure that there was no cheekiness going on, no back cap attempt, and it will in fact be a full hold. So much distance within the first minute and a half established from the Chengdu Hunters, but Fusion managed to stabilize. The Nano onto Fury, coming up with those 2 kills, being able to eliminate the back line made all the difference.
Look, they dug in their heels. The EMP came in. As soon as the EMP landed, Fixer managed to land also an amazing bio nade. You saw it basically be the decision maker on whether Monk was going to live or not, and Nisha was put under so much pressure by that as well because they were affected by the anti. So they needed to take cover, cut down their LOS. They can't really heal the rest of their lineup as well because they have to protect themselves. So if they go down, there's now no healing for the Chengdu Hunters. So really tough spot for them to be in. Point A pretty much needs to be captured here by the Fusion on their offense. Totally achievable, especially if the Hunters allow a walk-in like they were to receive on their offense as well. Really, really unfortunate timing with Daisy's grab that round as well. I believe AimGod was forced to use the Transcendence because they were under pressure from Leave, and just as they used the Transcendence, Daisy shot out the Graviton Surge, so it was an immediate counter for that ultimate, which meant everyone survived, and it was just a bit of unfortunate timing for the Chengdu Hunters.
Yeah, I mean, if they had a little bit less rollback, honestly, the grab would have been enough to get them off the cart long enough for them to push through into A. Stop the contest, but just not enough distance set up. Too much rollback there. So now, looking for the ever-elusive Fuller hold. Jinmu getting a body shot there from the Widowmaker. Quick swap over from Zest. Goes for the Tracer once more. Leaves out on the Sojourn, though, so anything's possible. CM3 getting in behind the enemy team. Pushing around the flank, as is Zest. Toward aggression from Fury as well. A little bit of damage exchanged. MN3 spotted. He makes his exit. Jinmu unable to hound him down. They have the reveal onto Monk for now. They have him completely surrounded by allies, so no easy access onto the Zenyatta.
MN3 needs to go grab some healing quickly. They've been sat at about 3rd HP for a while. Finally, we're going to collect that. I feel like this is going to be a decisive pick in a second that blows this wide open. The payload's rolled passively forward enough where a decisive fight win could spell disaster. Oh, good shot.
Great shot. Zest not seeing that one coming. Just gets clipped in the head from the flank. With a nice opener, builds up another rail, spamming away at the legs of the mech here. Just over halfway towards that overclock now. Needs its stat. All that rail charge now expiring, so no chance for a quick instant deletion here. Has to build that back up. Fury's going to go to look to contest to get the hack out on the Leave. Bubbles come through from Daisy, however, to keep him safe.
Nice forward operating base here to be used by MN3, constantly sneak into the back line. Supports have been flagged on the top. Fury gets a great eat.
And that is the Fury that we have known from times long since past.
Leads down.
Gets the eat onto the poles. MN3 gets Leave. Out of the frame, self-destruct up over the top, not going to be able to find the supports, but Fury knows exactly where they are, and he's got them locked into a side room. Daisy is trying to peel, but all of this action is happening so very far away from the cart. And cleanup comes through. Jinmu tucks away inside of Big Girls, has to recall, has to dash away, and the cart will continue to advance, and that is just going to be the push coming in. Fusion making it look easy. They take the lead once more, now 2-1 as we get ready to go into push, and that is New Queen Street to remind you all. Fusion likely feeling pretty damn good about their odds.
Look, Fury may not have got the kills on the backline there at the end, Seth, but forcing them into that tunnel is as good as killing them to the rest of the team. There are 0 sightlines for the main conflict in that tunnel, so by Fury forcing both Nisha and Monk in there, it means that the front line is not getting any heals. It just means that Daisy is an easy target to pick off for the rest of them because he's got no support. None of the resources have been funneled into the tank line. Fantastic play from Fury at the end. Grabs himself an E on the pulse bomb that comes out from Leave, immediately zones off the back line as well. Fantastic play to seal the deal there for Fusion, and like you said, it does not bode well for the Hunters. We're going to New Queen Street, and that's Philly Fusion turf.
It certainly is, but if the Chengdu Hunters can get a win on New Queen Street, they're definitely in a very good spot to be able to take this series, because we saw that first round of Control, Chengdu Hunters not looking like themselves. Didn't really look like they were awake at all. So if they do extend this into, I believe, Busan again, then there's definitely a decent opportunity for them to be able to close out the series. But they have to win on New Queen Street first, and it is going to be a tall order for them. We'll see if they can muster it, see if they can manage it when we come back from the break. Otherwise, Fusion going to be looking to take down the Chengdu Hunters for, if I am correct, if I read that stat correctly earlier, the first time this season. So don't go anywhere, guys. The action continues when we come back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to carry on with our series and see whether or not the Fusion are going to be able to close out this set 3-1. Or if the Chengdu Hunters can fight back once again. It's going to be New Queen Street, the staging ground for a turnaround in the series. If they're able to manage one, I'll have to just wait and see how it all goes down. But Fusion, as we have said time and time again throughout this evening, this has been their stomping ground. This has been one of their best maps, period. Not just in push, obviously limited options in that regard, but this has been a huge map for them, just generally speaking.
It does not bode well for the Hunters. Like I said, it's a bit of a coin flip with the two current push maps in the circulation. Colosseo, definitely one for the Hunters, and New Queen Street, definitely one for the Fusion. We'll have to wait until the playoffs patch. I don't know, actually, if in playoffs we are going to get the new, I think it's Esperanza, the new Portuguese map. That's also
yes.
Push. That'll be good if that is in circulation for playoffs, because then we can mix it up, and then it's not a coin flip. It's something triangular-shaped flipped. I don't know.
Yeah.
Help me out here. Yeah.
Roll a little three-sided die or whatever.
Yeah, that works. Three-sided die. Three-sided die to decide which push map we go to. New Queen Street up next for you. And if the Hunters find a way to take down the Fusion, we will, of course, be going to Busan to close things out. Our first 5 mapper of the day, in a day we predicted would be full of them.
Alrighty, well, here we go. Gates now about to open up as we get ready to have battle commence.
Right, well, we got comp-wise. Daisy still on the Zarya, and Fury going to stick with the Diva. No reason for them to change. They had a great final performance there on Route 66 to close out the deal. High ground taken by the Hunters. Definitely got the positional advantage for the time being. I think that's just the benefit of having Nisha, right? It just enables them to get here much faster and take high ground control.
And now the drop down here onto the bot. Skirmishing continues. Daisy going low, pops a bubble, gains 40 energy off that one. The healing will come out from Monk as well, but Nisha under fire. Continues to get whittled away at. Zest trying to find that elimination, can't quite make it happen. Bot for now, still locked in position. Starting to move forward here for the Chengdu Hunters. Will be able to get a little bit of distance going here for themselves. And with MN3 getting taken down, maybe they can get a lot of bit of distance. So we'll have to see exactly what happens. But for now, the rest of the Fusion are going to be pulling away.
Jimmy gets bubbles. He's leading the charge right now for the Hunters as they try and get more. Daisy burns down aim god. Fractured kills coming in here. Not cohesive fight wins. They're just getting little picks every now and then. Stall Tactics trying to come in here around the back, using those stairs to contest the payload and delay it as much as they can. A hyper-mobile hero like Zest on the Tracer has opportunity to do that and get out safety and stop the progress while the team regroups. It's a good option to put in here to keep this game competitive.
Yep, now moving forward, 30 meters obtained here for the side of the Hunters. Fusion, there's the opening pick, but the bubble from Daisy will go and absorb that pulse bomb. So not going to find the punish that they were looking for, not the window of opportunity that they certainly wanted. Nano used on a Fury, gets slept for a brief little moment there, goes straight back into the action. Monk down, Monk going to be taken down, but it's at the cost of aim god. So a little bit of an exchange. Nisha is going to be boostioed. Not sure if this was intentional or if he dove in front, but either way, they do keep him in the fight to try to keep this fight going in their favor. So it's pursuing forward, trying to get the damage, finish him off, but just can't quite manage it.
Got control of the bot, but haven't put any progress on the ball by moving the barricades yet. Hunter's giving them a lot of space to work with for the time being, but will contest them before they come anywhere close to being able to surpass their distance. Zest on the flank, as you'd expect. MN3 in position with the EMP. That's it, they're right on top of Monk. They need to convert this, but the beat comes out!
The beat comes out, and so does the blade, and Jinmu finds both damage dealers from the Fusion. Strikes him down. The bot, again, getting moved into a push position. Fury going to be broken out of the mech. It's going to be a long reset for him. Jinmu is now noted. Both of the supports are on the backside. Aim God going to be eliminated as Daisy joins the fight. Picks the last one to fall. And that's going to be the Chengdu Hunters pushing once more, getting ever closer to that checkpoint.
Yeah, I think they're going to claim this one, get those forward spawns unlocked. Further this goes, the harder it's going to be for Fusion to take a lead in the map. We're still only 3 minutes into the map so far, 10-minute timer. Now they can dig their heels in, play a little bit more defensively using the forward grounds. Bot's been pushed, forward spawns stay active, I believe, until we get it back to the central point.
That it does.
Fury's just
good amount of wiggle room,
lingering.
not being, seeing Zest be able to steal these bots away, much like we've seen from him in the past. Jungle Hunter seemingly paying good attention to it, but Zest does manage to finally get some value out of the pulse. Daisy not in a position to offer up a bubble to Jinmu, so he ends up going down. He can finally maybe start gaining some actual distance here. And he can also take away those forward spawns.
Just in case.
Okay, progress. They're gaining one person on to be able to get it moved. In range. Life support gets the nano boost to stay alive. Turns it around on Jinmu.
And Jinmu is dead once more. Comes right back into the fight. Sit right back into the respawn room. Except this time he's a little bit further away. Great punish. Great nano. And God trying to charge up that right click around the corner. Can't quite get a hit onto anyone. But the bot still a good amount of space offered up to it. They get close to these barriers. Close to this checkpoint. But eventually Chengdu Hunters will be able to recontest this. Moves right back into it, gets chunked immediately down low, and
no.
Unbelievable, and the self-destruct fights. Daisy, Fury, taking him down, and these are the openings here for the side of the Fusion, just storming their way through. Yep, they wipe the floor with them. Zest cleaning up the rest. Jinmu, just go sit back in the spawn room, son. You don't want to die again. Now checkpoint is obtained. The bot will take a little bit of a break, but right now, Fusion, with how much ground they control, they can take the lead here.
Absolutely, they're going to surpass the distance and put the ball back in the Hunter's court to be able to surpass them. Like I said, the catch-up potential in this game mode is very limited. So hard to catch up once the distance stuck on the board. Monk gets assassinated by Aim God.
Daisy
He's
needs
just
some
able
help
to
right
hit
now.
the volleys.
The Monk is dead.
Cat is missing.
So
Missing his
Daisy
Ana.
is just, yeah, so low. He's still
Missing his
hovering around
Lucio.
half. They got Nisha, now Leave is dead. And Chengdu Hunters, I mean, they have all these ults, they just haven't been able to use them. Jinmu, he actually tries to pull the play.
Why?
Are you kidding me? He tries to make the hero play, but instead he just ends up looking like a zero. It gets completely shut down. Maybe he's going to swap, but right now it's looking like he's going to stick through with this Genji. And it's just the biggest head scratcher of an ult that I've seen from Jinmu in some time.
He had a Daisy bubble to try and help there, but I mean, that's not enough. You'd already lost about 3 members of your team. It's rough for you to try and go for that one. Speed boosting back to the speed boosting back to the bot. Fury needs some help. He's gonna get it. Daisy on the aggressive.
Just pushing up. Maybe
he's giving him so much space.
Threaten the grab. Keep Fury interested. Play a little bit of bring around the Rosie and get the bot away from the Fusion, but they'll cut through the alleyway and meet it before it gets to neutral territory, so they still hold the forward spawn for now. They have a considerable lead of nearly 40 meters. 3.5 minutes left to go. Chengdu Hunters, 4 ults online. They've been holding these for quite some time now. Can they actually get into position to use them? That is the question. For now, Daisy, low on energy. He still receives the nano. He's still pushing. Fury is just riding behind him, holding down that D-Matrix, and Jinmu gets killed by Aim God for what? The 4th time? I know it's
ridiculous.
Daisy, sure, you got plenty of energy, but you've got no Genji to play off the back of you here. It's just continuing to get bullied around. Has to kite back, and he just cannot make it out. There's the reset of the energy. Leave, pops the overclock. He's trying to turn the tide somehow, some way, but Aim God is absolutely crushing at every twist and turn. He shuts him down. The ult gets absolutely nothing. And the Fusion now start pushing again, looking to finish the map.
Cap? Cap? On my new Queen Street? No, surely not. EMP ready.
With the Fusion
Self-destruct as well, Transcendence.
It's never out of the question. Zest finds Daisy. He's never going to get the use. He's never going to get the use of this grab. Blade from Jinmu will find MN3, pushes up top, looks for Aim God, will get him, fixes, shuts him down. It's a 3 for 2. Fusion still saying, okay, screw it. Keep pushing the bot. Why not? Gain the extra distance. It doesn't matter if they die at this point. If they do, Daisy's got a grab to get out of the point, by the way, out of the spawn, I should say.
After
Finally
all that
kills
time.
Zest. And the bot makes it within 4 meters of finishing, while the Chengdu Hunters finally at last grab control of it.
The value of, like, you know what? Daisy held onto that grab so long, it was like holding on to a crypto coin. There's just, he was left holding the bag. The value of it decreased. Absolutely. Look at the distance, 124 meters to 57. I mean, Philly Fusion could just play pure defense and ride out the rest of this map at this point, Seth.
Okay, aggressive self-destruct chucked in. Sound barrier on the back of the EMP. Nisha And it's just a fine MN3. Gets on top of him, gets the kill. That's one opening of several that are needed. They've got to fix up both under a bit of fire, and while they're distracted, dealing with Jinmu on the Tracer now. Nisha manages to go ahead and take down Zest. Aim God again, however, going to find a kill for himself. Gets rid of Daisy, now Jinmu out of the fight. Nisha taken down as Aim God gets himself a second. Now he's looking for the third. Just needs 1-2 more orbs to connect in onto Monk. Takes him down to about a sliver of HP. Fury pushing forward, looks for the finish. The rockets come flying in, goes crashing in. Bubble comes out, but Fixa gets line of sight. They take him down to the end. The staggers are still there. The forward spawn lost from the Chengdu Hunters. The bot again moving towards the Chengdu Hunters base. And this is just looking completely and utterly brutal.
45 seconds remaining. This is rough. The only way that Chengdu Hunters can come back into this one is that they win fight. If they win, they're doing it in OT. So they have to win consecutive fights. The ultimate economy is relatively stable right now. Good opening pick onto MN3 is a great start. They've given the nano boost over to Daisy. Yes, Hunters, take control. Start pushing back, because, like I said, you're doing this in OT if you're winning.
Yeah. The Fixer just running forward, goes for the quicker reset. Now they're just offering kills over to Daisy here, and he's able to scoop them, but fortunately, it's while the Fusion are inting to try to get that reset in as fast as possible. Forward spawns, I believe, gained for everybody, so they're going to be close enough to this bot as we enter into overtime. 5 seconds remaining, 2 ults to work with for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Grab, catches one in the window, Aim God, getting focused.
Fury's just waiting.
They finally find the kill, but for a second it seemed like it wasn't going to come through. Sleep Dart connects on a Fury, he gets woken up instantly. The self-destruct already available, he charges in, he finds Monk with the help of Zest. Self-destruct now, not actually invested. Doesn't use it here. Curious. Either way,
interesting.
Another reset. Chengdu Hunters win the fight. Forward spawns again going to be in their favor.
Okay, I don't think they would have won the fight and turned it even if he remet there, so I think it's fine for them to go down because a lot of the team was in a dire position anyway. Comes back to it, Transcendence, Nano Boost, EMP, Self-Destruct, all these tools available. Daisy's used that grab, we're looking for Overclock, Pulse Bomb, Sound Barrier. I would like to see MN3 actually win the mind game against Nisha. Nisha has always been able to pull out the Sound Barrier to counter the EMP. I want to see him actually play around that a little bit better and actually not get caught off guard by that one. Here goes, Nisha used the beat immediately in response. They beat Daisy in the overlap.
Yep, Daisy just taken down way too quickly. Was already hovering around half HP. Now leave again. Going to die with the overclock rolling. The shield's taken out. Nisha hacked. Finished off. Jinmu is just not a whole lot he can do. The self-destruct thrown up into the air in celebration and to zone them back. The OT will bleed away. Another little touch here for a brief moment. Monk will style on Aim God a bit, I suppose, but Aim God absolutely had the upper hand on this map, and Fusion continue to be the gods, the lords, the kings of New Queen Street here in the APAC meta, and that will be them taking this series 3-1. They finally have bested the Chengdu Hunters here in this season. You can see Nisha with a bit of a wry smile on his face. He knows that for him, for the Fusion even at this point, this series does not necessarily mean a whole lot. But the fact that it was still so very one-sided could be a cause for concern.
Like you said, Seth, that means that the Fusion have been able to get a dub against the Hunters this season. Coincidentally, the actual scoreline all-time against them is Hunters are leading their head-to-head this season 3-1. So very reminiscent of the series score we see right now.
Poetic.
But no, nice. Poetic, if you would do. But it's nice for them to get a dub out here, not be completely winless against one of these teams. Fusion has been one of these really weird, like, dark horse teams that have been able to find wins and play spoilers to the likes of Dragons, to the likes of Dynasty throughout the season. It would feel weird for them to not be able to defeat someone like the Hunters as well, to make sure they've beaten every team at least once.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the player of the match and see who we've got lined up for you guys on the side of the Fusion. Either way, I think you could go a couple different ways, but it's going to be Fury, who did have a whale of a time coming in, playing the offense, playing the Diva primarily, and just looking excellent for the Fusion.
Yeah, really had a peak moment at the end of Route 66. Cannot overstate how important their play was there. Eat the Pulse Bomb from Leave and then shut out Monk and Nisha, denying all support to the tank on Route 66. Hopefully we get a glimpse of that in this replay because, yeah, absolutely game-winning play for them right there. And it was already a low benchmark for the Fusion to succeed on Route 66. It just made it that much easier when it came down to it. There you go, Pulse Bomb. He actually saving Aim God in there as well. Makes it more important. Don't see the zoning, but he immediately went up to the tunnel and locked them out of it.
I mean, Fury,
I was worried, Nisha.
Much like, you know, Void and Zarya, these are the things that you love to see these guys play because it's how they made a name for themselves. It's how they became, you know, considered the best in their position was off of these picks. So seeing Fury play D.Va, I'm all about it. Some of the other Divas that we've seen in this region, I can do without it. But it worked a treat here today for them to finally be able to win the Orange Chicken Bowl and take down Chengdu Hunters for the first time. So congratulations to Fury and the Fusion overall.
Yeah, and so, like you said as well, Seth, we've had a really big pivotal day for the Philadelphia Fusion. Less so about the result they suffered here. It's more so about what happened earlier in the day in the Charge versus Spark series. Spark being absolutely blown out, already secured Fusion the place in the playoffs. They don't have to play through play-ins anymore. That was decided. This is more about just like keeping the form well, sending a message, making sure you're getting those reps in against some teams on the stage, because you will get a bypass. You're not doing play-ins, but you still have a long road ahead of you in the postseason.
I mean, God knows if you're the Fusion, you would love to send any reinforcement and positive vibes to your fans that you possibly can. Because again, much like the Chengdu Hunters, they have had a very swingy season. It is, that pendulum that goes back and forth and really determines what kind of form we find them in. But this was very much a good look to be able to finally, in the last outing against Chengdu, take them down, get that win when they have had your number this whole season throughout. Has got to be a very good feeling here for the Fusion. Just a cherry on top of already getting locked into the playoffs. So Fusion going to be living large, resting easy, and sleeping well tonight, I would imagine.
Yeah, I've already just been checking my phone to just see if Bad Pachamari is celebrating, and no doubt he's going to be all over socials because Fusion bring him no end of joy right now. So, Fusion qualified. Good victory against the Chengdu Hunters. Not much more you could ask for as a Philly Fusion stand today. Probably one of your best days of the season so far.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, other than, I guess, the times they would, have 3-0'd the Shanghai Dragons and whatnot. That probably feels a little bit better in hindsight.
Feels good, but does it?
Still,
this is playoff, Seth. This is playoffs secured.
Exactly. Still a very good feeling and very much a thing to celebrate there if you are a Fusion fan. So congratulations again to them. But that does it. This is a hell of a lot earlier than I thought we were going to be finishing. It's only 10:34 for me. Last week, when we had our 3-match day on Saturday, I think I didn't finish until about 12:30 p.m. So 2 hours earlier, I'll take it. It might not be the 15 map, so I had my fingers crossed for, but it was still some entertaining gameplay in the end, I suppose, and some pretty crazy things that happened throughout there. So for all of the people who are going to be watching on the Encore, good luck. You're going to need it to get through it all. To everybody who was watching this live, go ahead, tell your friends that they missed one of the most bizarre, weird days of not just APAC, but of Overwatch League in general, because things were weird. But it's time for myself and Trid to get some much-needed R&R to relax, to clear our heads, and shake off the tilt. We're going to be back tomorrow bringing you guys the last 2 series of the week. So make sure you guys tune in, same place, same time, and check out those games. We'll see you then.